Oh yeah, look at a bodysuit. I wish there was a little slot down here, you know, for us to pleasure each other.
What is wrong with this guy? Is he married at this point?
A former teacher convicted of sex with a student. The reason this one's a little dicier is because the student was 17.
You're calling it dicey. That is an excuse of the behavior.
One of the techs came across some pictures on a customer's computer of the child pornography variety. So if you have things that you don't want computer techs to see, delete them.
This is the time you wanted to have that discussion?
When Tim Pool got swatted, TheQuartering went into Tim's chat and shilled his fucking coffee.
Good plug, bud.
If this post ends on an odd number of replies, Sydney will post a lewd photo in the replies.
What is wrong with this guy? Does he like his wife? I don't understand.
Oh my god, I just peed in my basement.
He really isn't gonna live that one down, huh? Let me take a quick piss. I'm gonna go pee in a hole in my basement. All right, here we go, baby. It's quartering time. This looks interesting. It's from Mikey No Mo. No more. Come on, you should have said it. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Mikey No Mo would have been better, but whatever. It's called Jeremy. I can't speak at all today. Jeremy Hambley, Rich Grifter, Poor Grifter. Interesting title. It's about the quartering. Let's take a look at it, dude.
There's a saying that if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. But what if what you love is reading other people's articles in a camera for 10 minutes at a time,
That's a great life.
from your audience, and starting businesses that light up like the Notre Dame Cathedral
Damn.
the second you have to actually run them?
Damn.
Can you really still call what you're doing
Doesn't he sell coffee or something?
work at that point? Well, you would if your name was Jeremy Hambley, a.k.a.
Hambley is an interesting last name. Call him J-Ham.
TheQuartering. You know, the word grifter gets thrown around a lot these days. It's an overused catch-all term for anyone with a donation link or just a bad opinion.
True. Usually grifting means that you're like actively lying. You know what I mean? Maybe Jeremy believes everything he's saying, dude. I don't know. Maybe he's just stupid. Although I don't really know his politics too much. I know he's a conservative, so.
But we need to get back to the roots of the word, the classic definition. A con artist, a shyster, someone who uses deceit to swindle. And if TheQuartering isn't a grifter, none of these other internet hustlers are either. Thing is, TheQuartering's not even really a hustler. He's a prolific slot manufacturer who's gotten out of almost every
I can't wait for them to make a video about this, dude. For me, you know, just a fucking slop handler. I can't wait, dude. I love slop, you know.
financial jam, essentially by relying on his fans to bail him out the moment he got confronted with a problem, vomiting out 5 to 6 videos a day couldn't solve. If there's one,
you got to make a good amount of money, like fucking pushing that type of slop out. No, what the fuck? How wouldn't he be able to exist on that? You know, that's crazy.
thing I've learned about Jeremy Hambley while making this video, it's that when the times get tough, TheQuartering gets to begging.
Damn. I guess you got to do what you got to do, huh? Oh, fuck.
Jeremy Hambley has always been two things: a neckbeard and obsessed with becoming an entrepreneur. Being a man of industry, a guy who owned his own business and didn't have to answer to anybody, has been an admittedly admirable long-time trait of Jeremy's.
Hey, listen, I like it too. I like being able to do my own job and not really have to answer to anybody except for, I guess, YouTube. I mean, I have to answer to them because, you know, I don't want to get fucking the old bandwagon. I don't want to get banned or anything.
And he's been at it for over 2 decades. Probably his oldest internet capitalist venture was his business, Be Your Own IT, back in 2008.
The fuck is that?
How did you?
Well, I've been YouTubing for almost 20 years.
Damn.
Like, my very first channel, it still exists. It's called Be Your Own IT, and if you go back and look at like the oldest video,
yeah,
I'm there.
Be Your Own IT.
You really? You're in your own video?
Was a tech YouTube channel and website essentially dedicated to scamming boomers who couldn't use Google or know how to browse tech forums into paying Jeremy to give them the most basic tech advice in the world. There
Wait, what?
were already YouTube channels back in the early aughts that offered essentially the same value of info that Jeremy was trying to dupe people into paying for. Unsurprisingly, the business struggled, and it led Jeremy to making a video in
I mean, I feel like you didn't explain the premise very well of like what exactly was it that he was trying to sell people.
2008 that would completely foreshadow his future career of entrepreneurship.
Damn.
I ain't got the video though. It's gone. Jeremy managed to get rid of it along with almost any other evidence that Be Your Own IT was a thing that he was once affiliated with. This
Oh, well, I guess I'll try to take your word for it, but who knows?
Was a smart move on Jeremy's part because a lot of those videos did not age well for him, including the video I'm talking about, which Jeremy literally titled "A Sad, Pathetic Cry for Help from Me."
Damn. Sounds like he might have been asking for help.
Now, fortunately, while we don't have the video, the transcript did manage to survive. And to summarize, the video was basically a precursor to every "I need your help, my channel is
under attack." Wow. What is up with that? Like, what the fuck? Do people really do that shit all the fucking time like a bunch of babies?
under attack video that Jeremy has ever made. Double speaking about how the channel and blog are doing great while also admitting he only makes 25 cents off the site every 2 days. Talking about how the business barely making any money is fine because it's all about helping people with his 10 years of computer repair experience anyway.
Is he Mudaharing right now?
He says this while also pleading for people to share the video, share the blog, make videos about his videos and his blogs, and maybe doing a response for a response, share for a share thing that YouTubers back in the early days like to do.
What does a response for a response mean? What the fuck does that mean?
Basically, his business was doing bad and Jeremy begged for his YouTube audience to come to his rescue. Yeah, bro's been doing that for going on 18 years. He might actually be one of the only guys on the internet who's been crying to their audience for support longer than Darkside Phil. Jeremy humbly...
That's funny. Well, I mean, Darkside Phil, wasn't he like investing in like fucking, what is it? It was like wrestling shit, wasn't it? Fucking wrestling shit all the time. He spent all his money on like goddamn like wrestling like phone games. It's fucking crazy.
When it comes to being a strong, independent businessman, is soft as baby shit and quit to resort to a bailout from his community whenever he
typical conservative, am I right?
can. Also, the whole thing about just wanting to help people with his computer repair skills and not caring that Be Your Own IT barely made any money was a lie. Because as soon as he was able to, Jeremy sold that bitch to somebody else and never engaged in any further computer repair content again.
But how do you sell a YouTube channel like that, especially an unsuccessful?
I did was I started selling these little how to repair your own computer kits, and then some VC guy bought that channel from me, and I think I got $160,000.
Not only because it didn't
Wow, good for him, I guess.
make him that much money, and competition in the online IT advice scene was really starting to heat up around 2011 when he sold it, but because, just like with Review Tech USA, Jeremy's tech know-it-all was actually quite limited. Despite having over a decade's worth of computer repair experience, Jeremy can't even repair his own laptops.
Okay, lesson learned. When I brought my brand new Asus laptop, it's actually been upgraded by some third party. Essentially, I saw this 4 terabyte solid state drive, and it really only came with 512 from the factory. When I sent it for repair, they would only cover it under warranty. Yeah, WWE Champions, that was it. Well, this doesn't mean that he can't necessarily do it. I mean, if he thought he had a warranty or something, it makes sense to send it out.
He has to send them to an actual expert instead. Now,
I mean, I think even if I know how to repair computers, I would still send it out sometimes too, depending on the circumstance.
even though his tech era was over, Jeremy wouldn't stop making YouTube content after Be Your Own IT. All throughout the early 10s, Jeremy would start multiple channels that were more or less just him trying to find a way to turn his various consumerist hobbies into YouTube hustles. You had
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, baby.
RC Nightmare, where Jeremy would show off and play with various radio control toys, a strong obsession of his to this day. And this
Is this guy a little tism? I mean, nothing wrong with that, but
wasn't the only RC channel he had, just the first and biggest one. He'd make a bunch of offshoots: RC Flight School, RC Skipper, RC Spotlight, Team RCN, and Friends of RC. Jeremy really wanted to be a popular RC YouTuber. He also made Clawstruck, a channel.
I was to say, I remember he had the claw machine YouTube. That one I do remember. It's cheaper to repair yourself. You can buy the parts. Well, yeah, but if you have a fucking warranty, then it's cheaper to use the warranty, no? Like, I don't understand what you're saying.
Dedicated to claw machines.
You know, and then I started a channel about RC cars, and I sold that. And then claw machines.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Claw machine. The claw machines one was my
dude.
favorite. It's so sad that that died.
But out of all of these hobby channels, the one Jeremy would go on.
Well, why not just keep it going? I don't understand. Like, I guess because you wanted to make like a meaningful income on it. But if it's like a passion project and you have a YouTube channel already, oh, why don't you just, you know, like focus on that? No.
to get the most mileage out of was one he started in 2012 called Unsleeved Media.
Whoa.
What's up, guys? Jeremy and Brandon here from MTG headquarters. That's short for Magic the Gathering.
How's it going?
Our hand.
Damn, he's like a fucking uber nerd, dude. Guys, I was thinking about getting into Lorcana cards. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think? I've never gotten into cards before. Is this a good idea?
Unsleeved Media, also known as MTG Headquarters, was, as both names suggest, a channel dedicated to Magic the Gathering, a children's trading card game that...
Okay, it's not a children's trading card game. I'm pretty sure that Magic the Gathering is probably the most adult one. I don't even play them. I'm just saying, like, that's... I don't think it's for children. Whoa.
has gradually evolved into a middle-aged men's trading card game.
I guess. I don't know. I feel like was it ever for children? I don't know, maybe.
Jeremy's channel didn't stand out that much. There were plenty of MTG channels out there, and he would do about what most of them did. Unboxing videos, talking about new sets, talking about tournaments, the latest meta, rule changes, the occasional giveaway, etc., about what you expect. Still, Jeremy grinded it out and built a decent following over the years, with Unsleeved Media eventually hitting 75,000 subs by 2015.
Well, we got there.
Oh, God bless, man. Good for him.
Or rather, we're almost there to the 75,000 subscriber celebration, and I can't thank you guys enough.
Jeremy is noticeably more chill in these videos. Unsleeved Media, like all of his other hobby channels, revolved around him doing things he genuinely enjoyed. And while making money was always a goal, it wasn't the be-all, end-all reason for why Jeremy made content back in the day. Until it was. See, around 2015, Jeremy would try to turn his Unsleeved Media side hustle into an actual business. Not just through Patreon either. Nah, he was going to launch a mobile app called Game Finder that he had ambitions to turn into a cornerstone for players in the MTG community. How did he manage to get the money to develop it? By crowdfunding it to a tune of about $30,000. The purpose was simple: create a way for players to be able to find other players to play Magic with.
I mean, that seems kind of cool. That seems like a good idea, no? It seems decent. Like especially back then, it was difficult to find people. So or just in general, like I just know that in general things were a little more different, especially if you're in like person. So it kind of makes sense to do something like that. No,
basically Tinder or Grinder, but for middle-aged men playing a children's card game.
Listen. It seems like it's. I mean, like I'm not a big fan of Jeremy, but like this seems normal. Hey, I want to create like an infrastructure for a bunch of nerds to get together, and like play Magic cards together. You know what I mean? It's like a hobby. I support it. I generally support the idea of it. I don't know if it was a great idea, only because I mean, it's difficult to do local infrastructure. It could have been cool if he tried to implement some kind of an app that would help you play over the computer by putting your cards on the table or something in like a webcam. I don't know, something like that. Basically webcam modeling. No, but I don't think it's that bad, dude. It doesn't seem that bad.
Very straightforward idea, and hey, it blew up. Like
hey,
a boat
good for
full
him.
of fentanyl en route for the United States, leaving the Venezuelan coast.
Allegedly fentanyl, I guess, right?
I mean, it flopped basically.
I don't think that Venezuela does fentanyl, so I'm pretty sure they don't. So I think they do different types of potentially like methamphetamine. So okay.
And why it flopped was pretty simple. Users really weren't fans of how the app handled location data and personal info. There were still bugs because the app's maintenance was ass. It just didn't get any traction. Wasn't a whole lot of reason to use it.
Oh, I thought you just said it was successful. What the fuck?
As opposed to Facebook or Discord, which
yeah, that makes a lot more sense. And also, you just go to like your local like trading card shop. So
launched the same year as Game Finder did. You would think that a guy with over a decade of tech experience would have considered these things before launching the app and wasting everyone's money.
No, I wouldn't. I don't think that like this is necessarily indicative of like a failure. Like he put up a business and he wasn't prepared for the infrastructure. I feel like knowing tech is probably not going to be the same thing as being like amazing at it, like amazing at building an app. You know what I mean? I'm not sure to give them like a tremendous amount of credibility, but I mean, I feel like he's not as I don't think so far I'm not like seeing anything necessarily super bad,
But nah, Jeremy's first crowdfunded business was basically dead on arrival. It looked like Jeremy was going to be stuck being an eternal hobbyist tuber forever. But there have been a little culture war about ethics in games journalism going on since 2014. Now, Jeremy wouldn't get involved in Gamergate himself, but ripple effects from it, the veterans of it, and the seeds of culture war it would spread across the web would greatly impact Jeremy's future career. It was in 2017
All right, we love culture war, baby.
that he would throw himself in his first culture war scuffle. And I want you to pay attention, because 2017 is where the Hambly Ministry of Truth's narrative crafting really starts to kick in.
All right.
It all started in June of 2017.
Great picture. Love it.
When Jeremy got blacklisted by Wizards of the Coast.
It's no secret to those of you who have followed me for a long time that I am blacklisted. Both officially...
Is Wizards of the Coast a Magic the Gathering thing?
I mean, basically as officially as they can do it. I can still play in sanctioned events currently. I'm probably one offensive joke away from getting my DCI taken.
Well, then stop making offensive jokes, dude. Aren't you a fucking adult? Wouldn't it make sense to not make a bunch of offensive jokes if you wanted to keep playing in this this thing? I don't understand.
A brief period of time where I was somebody that they would send free product to.
Oh, so why did you fuck it up just to say offensive shit?
And I'd gotten to the point where they would even let me do spoilers occasionally. I had done a few spoilers for them.
They decided they were done with this fool and wouldn't send him any more promotional material. Damn. This was a very big deal to Jeremy because, again...
Yeah, well, it sounds like he said something edgy and offensive and he bothered people, so they cut him off.
And he'd been trying and
Wizards is Magic and D&D? Okay, gotcha.
To turn his internet shit into a career for years, and unsleeved media had been the closest he'd ever come. Now, you're no doubt wondering why Jeremy was abruptly blacklisted by Wizards of the Coast. The story that Jeremy tells is that earlier that June, when the transgender bathroom debate shit was a big topic of discussion in the news,
he felt the need to weigh in on it. Okay.
For some reason, Jeremy, in reference...
Well, I mean, I think that there's several. I guess some people feel uncomfortable. Which I don't know. I don't give a shit. I feel like we don't really need gendered bathrooms anymore. We used to not have gendered bathrooms. It doesn't really make any sense. I mean, locker rooms are different. So I think part of it's that. And then part of it is, and this is, I'm applying today's logic, but it might have been the same back then, is that, conservatives don't really have a meaningful platform. So it's always like, oh, be afraid of immigrants and trans people. So that could be part of it, too.
To it, just made a little joke about how planeswalkers wouldn't need bathrooms because they could just piss into the ether.
It all started with a series of tweets, I think. This is how I remember it. This is like a year ago. LSV retweeted Gabby, and they were basically whining about bad comments. So I chime in by saying, Hey, comments are just that. Internet comments are even less important. Let's not be so thin-skinned.
Well, I mean, what are the comments, right? That's the real question.
Later the next day, I believe. This was like right around when the Charlotte bathroom thing was going on about trans people not having trans bathrooms or something like that. In their opinion, in a lot of people's opinions, I make a transphobic joke by saying another...
Well, I mean, I don't know if you guys know how a non-gendered bathroom works. It's like you walk into a bathroom and there's let's say there's 3 stalls and all the stalls lock. And you go into the stall and then you leave the stall and you wash your hands in like a communal room, I guess. And it's not really a big deal. I went to some fucking place in the city that was like that. I don't care. Who cares?
A content creator responds and says, I identify as a planeswalker and demand my own bathroom. A clear joke. So I replied, send your urine into the aether.
According to Jeremy, this innocuous joke was taken very serial by Wizards of the Coast, who had been bitten by the progressive bug, so they immediately put him on their shit list from this moment forward.
I mean, I guess it's just a joke. I don't know. I mean, I understand being professional, so I'm not super worked up about it. I'm like, okay, so they wanted to maintain a level of professionalism and not make certain players feel outcasted by the community. I guess I could understand it feeling like it was disproportionate, but I don't know. Don't make jokes. I don't know. Just don't make those jokes. Make those jokes privately, like a normal person. be transphobic privately, guys. Base take. I don't know, but I'm also 35 now. I don't know how I would have felt back then. I might have had a different take. Hey, it doesn't matter. I don't know.
story Jeremy tells. It's not true. The actual reason Jeremy got blacklisted by Wizard of the Coast was because he had been constantly starting shit with other members of the community all year long. See, there are two wolves inside of Jeremy Hambley. One is a greedy, attention-seeking, jaundice-filled fat nigga.
Whoa! What the fuck? Jesus Christ.
The other wolf is also all of those things, but he also has a drinking problem too. And because he has a drinking problem, he's worse at hiding all those nasty traits the first wolf inside of Jeremy keeps just barely under the surface. A lot of you are probably familiar with Jeremy's Twitter addiction. Boy's got one of the nastiest cases of Twitter fingers I've ever seen. Shit's terminal. And he also has a bad habit of saying things he wouldn't say otherwise, especially when he starts pulling up. Combine this with the fact that Jeremy has been paying attention to a lot of the goings-on in the anti-SJW realms of YouTube and social media at this point, and that he was starting to look for his own SJW dragons to slay, and you end up with a series of tweets where he's constantly squatting on other members of the community, like Anthony from the Manosaurus and Kate Donnelly from Hipsters of the Coast, bragging when they eventually block him for constantly tagging them just to insult them, all while reusing Kekistan and other 4chan memes he just copied from the other anti-SJ.
A war is coming. I am by far the underdog. But what they don't know is Kek is on my... Okay, so he memed a little too close to the sun is what we're saying here. He was memeing a little too much, and he got nay-nayed. That's what we're saying here. Okay, I mean, maybe don't be a fucking obnoxious online memer fuck, so...
W posters he was following. He also made tweets like these, posting pictures of his
lunatic Milwaukee protesters are now telling people to take it to the suburbs. I invite you to stop by my home. Oh, okay. So it's power fantasy stuff. Like, I hope you try to hurt me so I can kill you. That's like, okay, incredible.
Guns while mentioning the Milwaukee protest at the same time. Now, some of you would say, well, Mikey, it's not a crime. So long as
it's not a crime, but that's definitely a lot of off-putting messaging, so I can understand why they would not really want this person at their events.
Wasn't threatening anyone with his firearms or threatening to bring them to an event, it really wasn't the rest of the community's business. I agree, but it's really not a good look to make those types of tweets when you're already building a big reputation for being an abrasive alcoholic asshole. So no, Jeremy wasn't just a good boy who wasn't doing nothing but making a couple jokes at a few SJWs' expense. He had gradually started to become a pariah because he couldn't behave himself.
Yeah, you gotta act like with some fucking decorum. Like, I love edgy jokes and shit, but like, realistically speaking, some people don't, and you have to understand that, or it's gonna be off-putting. So if you have a community of people and they're just like, yeah, we don't like these jokes, they're cringe and annoying and off-putting, we don't want, we don't need people putting stuff online about like wanting protesters to come to their house to try to harm them so that they could do harm onto them. Like we're uncomfortable with all this shit, so we want to keep away. Like that's kind of totally normal, dude. Like, I don't know what to tell you. People don't want all that shit to be fucking, fueled into their shit. Like they don't want to see it. So you kind of need to be a little more responsible. I don't know what to tell you. Fuck.
The Game Finder failure, where he basically set 30K from other Magic players on fire, didn't help his rep either. But the most notorious example of Jeremy just being a was a video he made called Playset of Beta White Knights Prevent Rape of MTG Cosplayer at C Sprinkle Run.
What the fuck? Playset of Beta White Knights Prevent Rape? Is preventing rape beta now? What the fuck is that?
In this video, Jeremy ran about how Magic the Gathering cosplayer Christine Sprinkle didn't like a certain horned up comment she received.
Okay, so it was brought to my attention that there was like literal rape happening in the Magic the Gathering community. Serial virtue signaler and crying for Patreon dollars cosplayer C Sprinkle Run posted yesterday, allow messages to my Facebook page again, question my life choices immediately. Hey, I mean, if a guy tells me that he came and looked at my pictures and it gave him an erection, like, I'm like, sweet,
That's weird, and you wouldn't do that. You probably don't like gay people, but like that's weird as fuck, man. I mean, just because that's just weird. Like, I don't, that's just fucking weird. Just because she does cosplay doesn't mean that it's appropriate to do something like that. It's fucking strange as fuck, bro. What are you talking about? What the fuck? What a weirdo. Holy fuck.
I appreciate giving you boners.
Jeremy was furious about this. Why? Well, for one, Jeremy had a weird vendetta against female magic cosplayers in general. But
Oh, I would have never expected somebody like that to have an issue with women at all. What the fuck?
Christine especially triggered him because
Why?
of how
She's
much
not even dressed sexually. What the fuck?
love she got from the community compared to him.
Let's see what the Magic the Gathering community. 107 likes, which is a lot for Magic YouTuber or Magic personality.
They literally called her the godmother of magic cosplay. She even
Cool. Good for her.
got a video on the official Magic the Gathering channel dedicated to her. This wasn't some random e-thought trying to grift off nerds from a community she wasn't part of. She had been attending tournaments and engaging with the community for years. But Jeremy could see the thought that everybody else was blind to. What really
Was he just jealous of a woman? So it kind of seems like kind of strange behavior.
pissed him off were the dudes white knighting for her in the comments.
Tim Wright, jeez, it's not like there are any plenty of choices online for.
Damn, this is crazy because like obviously what we do is like, you know, we do React content, so we apply commentary to stuff. But is this guy really all this guy did was just like read Twitter comments all day? Like what the fuck is this? What the hell?
Cosplay perving. Why can't they leave the pros alone? Obviously, Sprinkle is a pro cosplayer. You know she's a professional cosplayer by the fact that she has to solicit Patreon dollars and then cry in her Patreon video to get loser beta cucks to give her money.
I don't understand. I don't understand like the specific content strategy that she's engaging in, but like having a Patreon to be like, hey guys, if you like my work, you could support me. I don't really see an issue with that. I don't like, I have it here too. We have like memberships and donations that people can give if they feel like it. It's like, who gives a fuck?
Now, even back then, it was really rich for Jeremy to poke at somebody else for soliciting Patreon bucks and crying to their audience for money because he had literally done the same thing a year earlier.
4 years ago, on February 2nd, 2012, I uploaded my first MTG video on YouTube. Now, 4 years later, more than 4 years later, and 820 more videos, I'm still here, producing content with the same dream of being able to do this as at least a part-time job. For the past year, I've been running myself ragged, trying to run a business as well as YouTube full-time.
What business is he referring to? Is it that website that we were talking about before?
And while it's been worth every long night, it's unlikely I can continue this pace much longer. I'm just...
And he still doesn't he continue the pace? Doesn't he pump out like multiple videos a day across 2 channels? Yeah, like here's the quartering channel. 18 hours ago, 19 hours ago, 21 hours ago, 23 hours ago, 1 day ago, 1 day ago, 1 day ago, 1 day ago. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 videos in a day. And then this is his other channel. I don't even know the difference here, but like he has 1, 2, 3, 4 videos within the past day. I don't understand the difference between the channels. The truth about ice raids, like I don't understand the difference between these 2 channels. They do the exact same thing. So I don't really understand. All he does is pump out slop. I mean, same, I guess, but he has a coffee gig. Did he have the coffee at this point, though?
So tired all the time. Now, I wish I'd done a lot of things differently. I wish I was friendlier with other Magic YouTube channels. I wish YouTube ad revenue wasn't less now than it was a year ago. Now, you may have heard of me talk about my Patreon for several months now. The truth is, the support I'm receiving on my Patreon is literally the only reason I can spend the amount of time I do now on these YouTube videos.
That's funny. He was shitting on other people for it, and then he does the same fucking thing.
I feel like we've achieved adequate corporate sponsorship. In fact, I would say I'm probably spending too much time on sponsored type videos.
Whoa.
It's a necessary evil as things are now to help fund all the awesome things that I want to do.
Cool.
You backing even $1 or $2
Rules for thee, but not for me, baby.
goes so much further than YouTube ad revenue ever could.
Guys, giving me just $1 helps me take my wife to Disney, okay? I mean, I'm fortunate now because the ad revenue on YouTube is like solid now, I think. And like other platforms is not, but at least the other platforms pay a little bit for shorts. But
he was just green with envy here. My favorite part was when he started going through Christine's cosplay pictures and showing how much of a thirsty gooner he was by admitting that her PG safe for work ass cosplays made him stupid horny.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sprinkle. Let's look at
it's the armpit, dude. It's the armpit. That's what it is, dude. He's a fucking gooner. He's a degenerate gooner.
your cosplay, your art, where some poor 14-year-old kid was unfortunately made an erection comment about you, and fuck him for being such a degenerate. I mean, what is sexual about this? Nothing, right? Oh no, totally nothing sexual about this. Oh yeah, here you go, Sprinkle. Another totally non-sexual picture where the Pokeball happens to be right on your fucking bush. Oh, here you
on your bush. I thought it's her side. Oh, I guess it's one on her vagina. Okay.
You go wearing basically a bra. Yep, nope, nothing hot about that. Here we go again. More.
I guess these are a little bit something. I don't know. Who gives a fuck? I don't understand what the problem is. Like, what is he bitching about?
Basically 75% nude. Nothing sexual there. Nothing sexual at all about.
Well, they're meant to be like teasing, I guess. But like, what's exactly is his issue with this?
Chandra, like nothing sexual at all. Oh yeah, look at a bodysuit. Yeah, I'm not going to sexualize you. I mean, fuck me if I'm going to say that I wish there was a little slot down here, you know, for me to, you know, for us to pleasure each other.
What is wrong with this guy? Is he married at this point? What the fuck?
Maybe should have rubbed one out before you made this video, Jeremy. Anyway, this video would end up getting deleted a short time later, but it quickly gained infamy and further bruised Jeremy's already black and blue reputation in the community. What with all the doo-doo flinging he liked to do, and also the whole game finder flop that completely wasted a lot of people's money. There were 3 reasons why Jeremy made this video. Envy that Christine Sprinkle made more on Patreon and was more popular than him, despite not being an elite player, or in Jeremy's eyes, not.
It's so weird because this like legitimately seems like one of those situations where there are things that I find cringe online, offline, whatever, but that doesn't mean that everything is worth talking about. But it seems like the things he finds cringe which aren't really worth talking about seems to be like the number one thing he feels the need to talk about. Like, if you look at a girl that's more successful than you and it bothers her that, like, she makes money off of, I guess, thirsting her body a little bit, keep it to yourself, man. Just keep it to yourself. Just be like, all right, this is a cringe, and don't make content about it. But it is so weird, because I feel like this is really, like, the embodiment of the online issue, is that there are people who get so fucking butthurt over things that you really have no business getting that butthurt over. And they go online and they complain about it, and it's like, you're being really weird. Like, even if whatever you're talking about is a little bit of an issue, it's not worth a whole fucking video. But they make a whole fucking video about it. And then you're just like, what the fuck is going on here? And I feel like that's how all these communities like organize themselves around each other. Off of like this, it's just this weird cringe shit. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but what the fuck?
Putting as much work into her content as he did, which has literally always been slop. 2, Jeremy, despite being a married man, has always had a pattern of weird interactions with women on the internet for years, especially with women he obviously finds attractive. And 3, the alcohol was just making Jeremy act unwise.
Damn.
So yeah,
is that the pee-pee stuff where he'd pee himself or whatever? Is that what people refer to?
All of this were the actual reasons Jeremy got blackballed. Wizards of the Coast wasn't expecting the netbeards they gave promo material to be the most professional guys around, but they at least expected them to not chimp out at other people in the community regularly or make videos called Beta White Knights Prevent Rape of MTG Cosplayer.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if that one was made by that point, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy. The insinuation there is that rape is okay, so it's kind of like really fucked to even say something dumb as fuck like that. Seems like kind of the wrong move there, boss man. You know what I mean? Seems like you probably shouldn't be saying that.
Where they literally added the Twitter handle of the cosplayer whose figurative rape they were talking about. Eventually, Christine announced her retirement that November so she could focus on med school instead. She was hanging up the jersey, and she explicitly named Jeremy as the reason for why she got sick of it all and left.
Damn, he got rid of his biggest enemy. right? Like, isn't that like that's one of the things you got to be careful. You can't bully your enemies too much, or else they're going to quit, and you won't have anything to make content about. That's a what? I thought I blocked. What the fuck?
Obnoxiousness and drunken tirades were just too much that not even the Patreon bucks made it worth the hassle anymore. Now,
Damn.
was Christine being a bit histrionic here? Of course she was, but the general sentiment was shared among a lot of other people, and her abrupt departure caused a real stir. Jeremy would respond by saying he hadn't harassed anyone, which is someone who doesn't think just sending mean words to other people over the internet automatically.
Well, I mean, it can be considered harassment. I mean, he seems like he was like harassing her in some way, shape, or form. He was just being fucking obnoxious at her over and over and over again. You know, and I say like online, people kind of need to like, you know, you got to toughen up. You're going to do an online career. You know, you got to be ready for people to be fucking dickheads about it. But at the same time, it's like, you know, she's not even, it's not like she's in commentary or something, you know, so it's a little bit different in that case. You know, you're not exactly expecting that type of behavior from just doing silly cosplays. But, you know, I mean, like, whatever. He was fucking being an annoying dickhead about it. Like, he doesn't have to go to a jail or anything, but we know he's a loser for just constantly, like, going after her because she was attractive. That seems to be what it is. She was attractive and it bothered him. That's it. That seems to be, like, the entire thing.
Counts as harassing them, I would feel he would have been in the right to say. Had he also not tried to play victim and say that he was the one actually getting harassed.
This is the type of video I would normally do on my TheQuartering channel, but I'm going to put it here on Unsleeved Media because I'm not going anywhere.
Whoa.
I'm currently under basically a full-scale assault from people who have been misled or have been waiting for a moment to try and, quote, get rid of me. So yesterday or the day before, well-known grifter and cosplayer Sprinkle
Did Sprinkle do something that we don't know about? What makes her a grifter? What makes her a grifter? What's going on, brother? I don't understand what that means. Why is she? I know what grifter means. I don't understand why she would be a grifter, is what I'm trying to communicate. What makes her a grifter?
decided to tweet out that she was quitting Magic. Then we see
Whoa.
literally every major creator out there, completely unself-aware, talking about me being some kind of serial harasser because I made a video 6 months ago.
I was harassing some cereal today. I was eating that non-binary cereal, the Magic Spoon. I remember trying it when I was younger, and it was like disgusting, like 5 years ago, and I'm like kind of into it. It's just like a little higher protein and stuff, so I just figured I'd let you guys know.
And one tweet like 2 months ago saying I didn't care that she was going to be at a GP or something. You are sicking a hate mob on me. You know that's what you're doing. And
I mean, he said he mocked her for like some kind of sexual harassment, so I don't know what he's talking about, but okay.
you're trying
Gotta do the grifting. That's the biggest grift, is the victim narrative from conservatives, am I right?
to play the victim while doing it. These people are so disconnected from reality. They legitimately think they're not doing exactly what they're accusing me of doing.
When it happens to somebody else, it's just a bit of banter and trolling. When it happens to him, it's genuine harassment. Sure, okay, bro. Again, this wasn't Jeremy
So true, King. You know what I mean? So true.
acting bizarrely out of character. It was an easily observable pattern of behavior. Of him asking for money from the community, then wasting it on a terribly executed business scheme, then starting drama that had nothing to do with Magic itself with other people in the community, and now there were members of the community that people actually liked that were saying they were leaving because Jeremy wouldn't stop painting the walls with feces.
Damn, dude. It's always a fat guy, am I right? Always fat guys fucking ruining everything for... Just kidding. Get a Magic Spoon sponsor? I think I would. I like the cereal. I eat it. It's a little expensive, but it's... I mean, I don't feel like shit after I eat it. Like, I'll eat, you know, if I eat, like, regular cereal, I feel like shit, but I'll have, like, a Magic Spoon cereal, and then I'll have, I get it from Costco. It's a little expensive. It was like $12 or 11 something for like 2 bags. And there's only like, you basically only get like 6 bowls out of it, but it's good shit, man. You know,
permaban that Jeremy received that December from all sanctioned Magic events might have been harsh, but it was after a year of him basically antagonizing and pissing off numerous influential people in the community and also just making a general ass out of himself. The ban didn't
sounds like J-Dog. J-Dog
prevent him from going to non-official events or visiting card shops or anything like that, but did essentially mean that any chance of Jeremy's Magic the Gathering channel ever becoming anything more than a hobby after 5 years of making hundreds of videos was basically dead in the water. It was the end of unsleeved media. But it wasn't the end for Jeremy himself though. Nah, this was just the beginning, because earlier that year, during the summer, Jeremy had rebranded his other Magic the Gathering YouTube channel to just TheQuartering.
Ooh, what's the quartering supposed to mean? Like, I don't understand the meme here. What does the quartering mean exactly? Like, what's the whole thing supposed to communicate?
Definitely an interesting day for me. So as you know, I'm kind of going through a transition on my main channel, which is specifically about Magic the Gathering. And my second channel, which is now currently called Unsleeved After Dark, because it's Unsleeved Media is my main channel, but I'm going to change it. I think I'm changing it to TheQuartering this weekend.
Originally, TheQuartering
Why? What is the point of the quartering? I don't get the name of it.
was going to be the sideshow channel, where Jeremy would get to vent about things that either had little to do or nothing to
That's a cool. Oh, because he likes quarter pounders. Okay, so stupid. You guys are idiots.
do with Magic the Gathering. But this channel would go on to be his most successful YouTube endeavor by far, while also somehow getting him in way more internet drama.
Hey, that's Friday Night Funking, right?
TheQuartering had already started to become Jeremy's main priority even before his MTG ban. By late 2017, he could already tell how the winds were
Look, a black guy that likes anime. Who the fuck ever would have expected that?
blowing. So he started maneuvering appropriately, and I gotta hand it to him. He made some smart moves, broadening the topics he talked about from just Magic to general geek culture, the news, and politics, encouraging his audience on his
Really stuck to that politics one, huh?
Unsleeved Media channel to migrate to TheQuartering and monetizing his channel early by shilling Patreon, Subscribestar, and securing several sponsorship deals, keeping those income streams healthy and diverse from the jump. The early growth of TheQuartering's channel was a rare example of him putting that masters in internet marketing of his to good use. Granted, Jeremy had made like 10 other fucking YouTube channels at this point, so really you could just say it was.
What kind of a person do you think makes so many YouTube channels? You know, like what kind of a guy is like, oh, let me just constantly make new YouTube channels? Like, it's so weird. What the hell's up with that, guys? What do you think? Like, that's fucking crazy, right?
The law of averages finally working.
Guys, I was thinking about making a new YouTube channel
in his favor. Another move that TheQuartering made in late 2017 and early 2018 that would really affect the trajectory of his career going forward was getting associated with several anti-SJW YouTubers in their communities. Like,
what about the Rev Says Desu or something kind of weird like that? I wouldn't doubt that.
Nerdrotic and Friday Night Tights,
Whoa.
Ethan Van Sciver and Comet Skate, and Sargon of Akkad and the Skeptics. Sargon.
Whatever happened to like any of these people? It kind of feels like they're all like irrelevant now. Am I wrong about that? Like, I don't know. Not that I'm super relevant or anything. I'm just saying it feels a little strange, no?
aka Carl Benjamin's clique would be one TheQuartering would become especially tight with. You know, and I mean, he would become really tight with Sargon.
Oh, they were gargling each other's balls. You love to see it, baby. You love to see it.
Coach Red Pill asked me, keep sucking on Sargon's dick, boy. V says that
doesn't really seem like a question, to be honest with you. I'm just going to interrupt with you, Jeremy.
Sargon's cum tastes awfully good. So does it. And sure enough, I found...
And sure enough, I have your answer for you.
A little website where I could purchase Sargon of Akkad semen. Probably my invoice here. Let's see. Oh, look at that. That's nice. Little letterhead. Comes in a nice little vial. This is a lot. Here goes nothing.
It's kind of a funny joke. All right. Incredible.
I don't know.
Hambly was really gonna...
Okay, well, you know what? I guess I give him credit for the meme. It's a little silly.
Need these connections because he was burning through whatever was left of the bridge between him and the Magic community to the ground with his Scorched Earth campaign against Wizards of the Coast. Specifically, against their...
All right, incredible.
Their judges. Jeremy's a guy who definitely holds a grudge, and he was left seething after they banned him. Not only because they cut him out of his Magic the Gathering tuber ambitions, but they locked bro out of his Magic the Gathering online account too.
Damn, that's kind of fucked, honestly. That's kind of fucked. That's a little fucked, dude. That's crazy.
What I wanted to talk about was really digital goods. specifically Magic the Gathering Online, because,
Whoa.
as you might know, my
Let's talk about digital bads, Jeremy.
collection was stolen by Wizards of the Coast.
All that money he spent on boosters lost to the
That is fucked, though. That's fucking crazy. Oh,
Shadow Realm forever. Honestly, being locked out of playing a gacha game, which Magic the Gathering Online and Arena 1000% are, will always be a blessing in disguise. But for
probably. I mean, because it's like an addiction, but it's pretty fucked that he probably spent a tremendous amount of money and he got cocked. But, I mean, why did he get locked out of it? Because he was being an asshole? It kind of happens, you know?
quartering, it was just one of the many heinous offenses committed against him by Wizards of the Coast. But Jeremy was about to get his get back by exposing Wizards of the Coast for harboring pedophiles.
Whoa.
It had been brought to Jeremy's attention
What, they're not releasing the list?
that Wizards of the Coast had been lacking when it came to their background checks, and there was now a cabal of pedos working for him. Quartering went to gather in a dossier of sorts of this Diddy the Gathering he had found out about and dropped it all on their heads. And how many did he find? One.
We start with Ross Prajsner.
There was literally one guy, Ross Prasner, who was convicted of distributing CP in 2014, but continued being an active judge because Wizards failed to do a proper background check on him. He was the only one of the subhumans Jeremy would list who continued affiliating with Magic tournaments after they were caught. It's
Well, that's not good, but one? I feel like they should have at least got two.
not that these guys didn't do what they did, it's that they didn't actually judge at Magic tournaments in any official capacity after they did what they did. They just had their names on some list that had yet to remove them, and Jeremy acted like they were still working with Wizards anyway. Now, a lot of you would go, well, Mikey, you gotta give Jeremy some credit.
I mean, I guess they should have removed his name on there. What was it, like on a website or something?
Exposing one pedo makes this short crusade of his worth it. And I would agree with that. However, acting like Magic had a cabal of pedos running the show was TheQuartering being extra. Even after his in-depth grudge-fueled investigation, he only found the one guy who slipped through the cracks. And I'm sorry, but literally every institution of a certain size occasionally has sexual deviants pop up in them. Also, this was completely performative outrage from Jeremy to get back at Wizards of the Coast for banning him and stealing his gacha pools on Magic the Gathering Online. He did not actually care. I know he didn't, because when he got to one of the dudes in the video, Luke Flora, who was arrested for sleeping with a student of his, he said this.
Now, this next person is a little... I was unsure about putting this person on there, but the point of
Why? If he slept with his student?
the matter is this person is technically a convicted of a sex act.
Technically? What? Yeah, what else is there?
And he now works for Star City Games. He
He was convicted of sex with 6 students. What the fuck? Oh. I think I see why he's defending it. Okay. Now I see what it is. The student was 17, so that's still not an adult, but I guess to Jeremy, 17 is appropriate. This person was convicted for sleeping with children, 17-year-olds. I understand not very young children. It's a minor, right? But you're a teacher. You're 30. This guy was 30. He slept with at least one 17-year-old, and you're a groomer. That's what that would generally be. I mean, I guess you don't have to groom your 17-year-old student. But it probably helps if you're their teacher and you have that position of power over them. But why wouldn't you include them, Jer Bear?
He's a former teacher, imagine my shock, convicted of sex with a student, 6 counts, felony count.
Why wouldn't you add this to the list, though? I don't understand.
Of sex with a student. He is the in-store programs manager at Star City Games, as far as I can tell. Now, the reason this one's a little dicier, I mean, is because the student was 17, but... That really...
How is it dicier? I don't understand. What's the logic here? How does them being 17 make it dicey? I don't get that. I truly don't understand that. I don't see how that makes it dicey at all.
You can't make any excuses for that.
By calling it dicey, you are making excuses for it, Jeremy. What are you talking about? You literally are the only one making excuses for the behavior. You're calling it dicey. That is an excuse of the behavior. What?
There's also this clip. One of the only...
What a weirdo. What a fucking weird... Dude, it's always these guys. How much you want to bet he's defending Trump on the fucking Epstein shit now?
The remaining remnants of Jeremy's Be Your Own IT videos, where he offered people with peculiar material on their PCs some advice.
It's more of a public service announcement than anything else. At the office this week, we had a situation where one of the techs came across some pictures on a customer's computer that were of the child pornography variety. I don't know.
Wow, hopefully they called the cops on them.
I don't really know there's any tack way to put that. But the customer was reported.
Good.
And subsequently arrested, I believe, is last that I heard.
That's good.
So if you have things that you don't want computer techs to see, you should delete them.
I feel like this is just not the right time for this conversation. Why would you have this conversation now? This is the time you wanted to have that discussion? I'm a little confused, truthfully, my brother.
Maybe change the folder name when you take it in if you can, or
what?
I'm not condoning it. I don't think it's necessarily right. I believe it's an invasion of privacy.
You don't necessarily what?
Privacy. So if you have these sorts of things, remember that computer techs do look at other things on your computer. People look around on it, and
if they had just found like a regular porn folder or something, then you gave this advice. That's perfectly reasonable. You know what I mean? Some people just accidentally have their tax folder, but it's actually a Loudlycon horse folder. I don't know who did that. But if we're explicitly talking about fucking CSAM, which is the way we talk about it now, right? Because pornography insinuates consent. So CSAM is a child sexual abuse material, which is the correct way to say it. Why would you give people this advice here? What's the context? Like, I don't... It's just weird. Like, are you so privacy concerned that you don't want pedophiles to slip up? Because that's a good thing that pedophiles slip up and they show this stuff. Because at least now you can be like, oh, look, they're a predator. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the self-report in this instance is a good thing. I don't know why you don't think... Why would you try to help more of them in the future, James? Is Jeremy? James? I don't know. Jer Bear?
You shouldn't make it real easy for people to find things.
And now you understand why all those Be Your Own IT videos are gone. Wizards of the Coast...
yeah, I guess that makes sense, huh?
...would implement a stronger background checks policy, but they had no real way of implementing it at a wide scale, so it really didn't change anything. It was just an announcement they made for optics' sake. But whatever, a W is a W, and we gotta give this W to TheQuartering. In his eyes, and in the eyes of his fans, he has slayed his dragon.
I guess so. I mean, he doesn't really... I don't know. Okay. He's fucking a weirdo.
Also got the opportunity to reopen his Magic the Gathering online account so he could sell his collection there and get some money back. Which, let's be real, is probably what he cared about way more than exposing some pedophiles. Now, with all this Magic the Gathering community bullshit out of the way, he could give most of his attention to what would be his main channel going onward, TheQuartering. And by
still don't understand why he called it TheQuartering. It's not really making a lot of sense to me, but
2018, TheQuartering had mastered his new main channel's formula. Daily uploads of topical content that was well researched and that he peppered with his own in-depth
were they well researched?
He recorded himself reading the news. He would find a handful of news stories and read them on camera slowly, because the motherfucker could barely read despite wearing glasses and having a master's degree. And
what does he have a master's degree in? Baiting? That's a joke about masturbating.
This would be TheQuartering's content format for the better part of the next decade. It was nothing revolutionary or even particularly hard to do, hence
well, I guess it worked for him, so God bless.
Why people like Review Tech USA have also made careers out of it. What Jeremy did have...
Is that what I need to start doing? Hey guys, let me read some... I mean, I already do my own shit. You know what I mean? I'm already doing some fucking cringe shit, so...
Have over everyone else, though, was his relentless output. This man is a slop factory, filling
Hey, you gotta. Sometimes you gotta shit all over your post, baby.
your subscription and recommended feeds with slop on top of slop on top of slop. Just a one-man chum bucket. The Quartering isn't just a slop tuber, he's a grand master of the art of slop tubing. This content mass production model of his would rack up tens of millions of views, tons of subs, and a massive bag over the years. But
hey, listen, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. There you go, guys. The meta is shit posting as much as you possibly can until you become popular.
just like with Review Tech USA, getting paid
I mean, I guess I kind of do the same fucking thing, no? So,
to read articles other people wrote for a living wasn't enough. No, he had to get in some
I have to look. That's so true, King.
YouTube drama as well. And he would choose literally the worst people to throw digital hands with. Dudes from the sector and internet blood sports community.
Oh, this doesn't really seem like a particularly good idea to engage with really toxic communities, but you do you, Jerbear. J-Dog.
Now initially,
J-Dingle.
the little
Not
spats he got into, like the one with the late and great Gonzalo Lira,
No idea who the fuck this guy is.
aka Coach Red Pill, didn't really
Oh, sounds like a kind of an asshole. Coach Red Pill?
go anywhere. Quartering by this point was bigger than the majority of guys in both the skeptic community and internet blood sports scene, and he had nothing to gain and no real reason to go to war with any of them. That was until Sargon and the sector started feuding. See, around 2017 to 2018, cracks had begun to form in anti-SJW spaces, especially in and around the skeptic sphere. I'm not gonna regale you guys with the whole history of the skeptic community, that's a video for another day, but things were starting to fizzle come 2018, at least in the sense that the OG format was starting to stagnate a little bit. Also, the battles
What is the blood sports format? It's like a debate thing? I don't understand.
between
He got killed in Ukraine? What the fuck? Damn, I have no idea about that. That's crazy, brother.
guys from the dissident right and certain skeptics like Kraut and T and Sargon was starting to overtake the community as a whole. Sargon's cult of personality in general was starting to overtake the community as a whole. There was a Godfather meme about Don Sargon ruling the skeptic sphere like a Machiavellian tyrant. And there was a bit of truth to it. He would also just start casually lying about certain things around this time. Like the incident that would get Jeremy in his first battle with Mr. Medicare, where Sargon lied about something Andy Worski, fellow skeptic at the time.
Who the fuck are these people? Who the fuck is Andy Worski? Dude, I'm like so out of my element. People made fun of me the other day because we were watching that the Dollhouse video that was about Cruel World Happy Mind. And I just didn't. I was like, who the fuck is all this stuff? And people were making fun of me for not understanding the lore. This shit is weird.
Had said. Worski, who wasn't a fan of having his name dragged through the internet streets, would expose some private details to prove Sargon was talking out the side of his mouth and essentially put him on the spot. In Quartering, one of the top capos and glazers of Don Sargon would call Worski out for daring to defend himself and not just take it. This led to him confronting both Worski and Medicare on Takasa's Kumite in February of 2018.
Yep, I understand all the words you just said, man. I get it.
I've noticed people like you like to use the we language a lot. Like, oh, we and us and stuff. You're not a part of this shit. You're not hosting blood sports. Who cares what your fucking input is? I also thought a lot of the other things you said in your video were fucking dumb, too. I mean, you went on about the... it was wrong for Andy to show Skype messages from Sargon. Why?
It is fucking wrong.
Well, I mean, if he was trying to say he's a bad guy and he had proof to the contrary, why would it be wrong?
Why? Should he be a bitch? Should he be a bitch and let somebody lie about him? Be a...
This whole thing is a semantic argument, right? It's the same thing where you said, oh, it's a debate. I wanted to have a conversation. Well, it's supposed to be a debate.
No, the Quartering.
Well, there is a difference to me between a debate and a conversation. Like a debate's where you're going in there and you're looking to lie as much as possible to win. And in many instances, a conversation is supposed to be more productive, right?
He said he never told me he wanted to speak to Spencer. That's not semantics. That's a straight out lie, right?
Look, we're not going to agree here, and that's fine. My point is just that you could have come on and said, look, Sargon, this is what you said. You didn't need to expose
I
it.
could have done a lot of things.
The problem Jeremy was having
Well, I guess he shouldn't have lied about the guy. Well, I don't know anything that's going on, but...
here with Worski is that Worski actually cared about people thinking he was a liar or somebody who just makes shit up. Jeremy
Wouldn't that be like almost defamation? No? Right? I don't know. Maybe not like actively defamation. but kind of. It would be bad for your character. You'd want to defend yourself, no?
Couldn't understand this because Jeremy doesn't care about people thinking he's dishonest, talks out the side of his mouth, or is just pulling stuff out of his cheeks. He just wants to make money and will literally just lie about shit to get ahead or get out of a jam. A great example would be his drama with Matt Loader that same year. A dude in a dress, and no, I'm not being rainbow tribe-phobic, settle down, Matt
Rainbow trifo. I don't know what that means.
Loader is just a guy who likes to cross-dress. Literally a dude in a dress. Now this dress-wearing fella would end up assaulting Jeremy while on a trip to Gen Con in August of that year in Indianapolis.
And it was like 1:30, and somebody walked up behind me and said, "Hey, is your name Jeremy?" And he would have been probably the 25th person to do that tonight. So I turned around, I said, "Yeah," and I stuck my hand out, and he immediately started punching me.
According to TheQuartering,
Man, what the fuck? Why would he do that?
would also shortly after open up a crowdfunding campaign for legal fees so he could sue this blouse-wearing bastard. Matt Loader was a deranged leftist who assaulted him for politically motivated reasons. That is a lie. It was actually because TheQuartering had called Matt Loader a pedophile with literally no evidence.
Oh, nothing like sending a man with no evidence at all. Let me try this. Someone told me that math. Fantastic did some horrible things with young boys. He should pay for what he did. Listen and believe me. Oh, well, it doesn't sound like he's calling him a pedophile. It sounds like he's saying that Matt is calling somebody else, saying something slanderous about. It sounds like what he's saying is that Matt said something slanderous. So he's going to say something slanderous in return. Does that make more sense? But all right.
This was only a few months after
I mean, I don't know what the other guy said, so I'm kind of curious about the specifics of it, I guess.
Jeremy's anti-pedo crusade, just to show you how seriously Jeremy takes this subject. Anyway, Matt Loader didn't appreciate that, so he pulled up to Jeremy at a bar outside of Gen Con and pieced him up. Not
I mean, that's what happens, man. I don't know why. Maybe you guys shouldn't be memeing all over the internet, I guess. But crazy.
condoning this alleged two-piece and a biscuit combo, Loader served Jeremy, just making it clear that Loader wasn't there to bash a fash. This was a classic "I heard you was talking shit" type confrontation. Apparently, the bar was also damaged in the fight, and cops had to show up and send both parties home.
This is the window he punched in
They just sent them home? What the fuck? Damn.
after not being able to continue to punch me.
Now, some of you might ask, but Mikey, if Jeremy was really assaulted, why would he sue Matt Loader instead of press charges against him?
Yeah, actually, I did think about that. When that doesn't really make any sense to me. I mean, wouldn't you, or maybe you do both? No.
As a matter of fact, why didn't the cops just arrest Loader right there after he had assaulted somebody?
I mean, maybe because they got into a mutual fight, and at that point it was like, oh, you don't know who started it,
and damaged the establishment's property in the scuffle. Oh, that's because it's an obvious lie, dude. I mean, he already lies from the get.
Damn, I would have never expected that TheQuartering would have lied. What the fuck?
About not knowing who Loader was, and also about Loader attacking him for culture war reasons when it was really about him calling bro a pedo with no evidence. He even lied about filing a police report. Quartering's retelling of events simply do not make sense and are very likely heavily embellished, if not simply made the fuck up. Which is probably why he would end up settling for a video apology from Matt Loader in May of next year rather than continue the suit.
Hi, this is Matt Loader. Some of you know me as Matt.
Well, I guess he did do something wrong for that to happen, but...
Fantastic. Just prior to Gen Con 2018, I let my anger get the best of me and physically confronted Jeremy Hambley outside a bar in Indianapolis over statements he made about me previously. I unequivocally take responsibility for my actions that evening, which were wrong, and apologize to Jeremy for my thoughtless conduct.
Jeremy Hambley
That's so beautiful, brother. Thank God. God bless,
is one of the most unreliable narrators on YouTube and is a fundamentally dishonest and disingenuous fat nigga. As
Bro, you gotta stop. What the fuck?
will be proven in his follow-up bout with Medicare in October.
Well, I don't necessarily know what he lied about there. I mean, it sounds like he let him get away with I don't know. Like he didn't really. I mean, I wonder why he didn't push charges. Maybe he thought it would be cringe if he did that. I don't know. But it sounds like he did do it, so it doesn't really seem like it was a lie, does it?
October of 2018, where he would put the gloves on for his E-Daddy Carl Benjamin once again. In January of 2018, just a month before Quartering was on the Kumite with Andy and Medicare, Sargon took the first major step in his quest to save the West with his liberalist movement. Many dudes from the sector would poke fun at Sargon and his liberalists, saying they were cringe and taking this internet shit way too seriously. That Sargon, who had political ambitions, had let his already big-ass head get too big for his own good, and that the IRL theater of national politics was a whole different ballgame than just making fun of some blue-haired SJWs online.
Gotcha. So he was trying to transition from an online creator to somebody a little bit more mainstream. Okay. And he was cringe. Okay.
His October 2018 Killstream appearance in particular would be the breaking point. And the Quartering threw his lot in 100% with his boy Sargon. Not only because he viewed Sargon as a friend, and that quite a bit of his channel's exceptional growth in late 2017 and early 2018 was owed to Don Sargon's blessing and the Quartering strategically cross-pollinating with the Skeptics audiences.
Well, do you think it was strategic, or do you think it was just kind of like grunting and farting and kind of getting there? But, I mean, at least you guess you could respect that. It was his friend, so he defends him, even if he defends him to too great of a degree. But
also, Jeremy really did glaze Sargon to death and viewed him as his main E-Daddy back in the day. So, in Sargon's honor, and also because he was envious of Jim's popularity just like he was envious of Christine Sprinkles, Quartering was gonna bring the heat. And he did it.
Bring the boom, baby.
In a very bitch-made way. See, this was around the time when YouTube started to go harder against edgy content. A lot of the dissident right guys had already been purged, and even edgy, apolitical content was getting shut down, including internet blood sports guys. So one day, Jeremy, out of nowhere, and in the midst of the big liberalist sector feud, starts telling Medicare to come outside. Come debate me, Jim. You know you won't, pussy. Oh, but
damn, come outside, dude. How about that?
Stream, not mine. And why was Jeremy so adamant about it being on Medicare's stream? Because you could get deplatformed just by having people send spicy super chats to you. And dude, wouldn't it be so funny if dozens of guys with names like I Love Adolf 1488 started filling your chat with $1 donos about how much the Holocaust was based and, you know, just get your shit shut down? Bro,
yeah, that'd be kind of fucked, huh?
That'd be hilarious. Yeah, Jim didn't take the bait. But you know a guy who Quartering was yapping at the same time who did take the bait? Keemstar. For some reason, Quartering was perfect.
Wow, every once in a while, dude. Every once in a while. Incredible.
Perfectly fine with letting Keem on his program. Probably because he didn't have gay ops in store for him.
Keem doesn't need to host me on his channel. He's plenty big. I'm welcome. I'm happy to invite him onto mine. Jim, on the other hand, is a coward who is afraid of his own super chats.
Letting Keemstar on would be a big mistake for two reasons. One, Jeremy was a little too tipsy for his own good, and that liquid courage shit he dishes out on Twitter doesn't really carry over to live debates. Keem kind of paddled that.
Who would have thought?
Look, I don't have a problem with you. You're the one that supposedly has a problem with me.
You called me a low IQ cuck.
Well, in response to what?
Or I said I made a joke about the guy in a dress, which is ridiculous, by the way. Somebody hit you. It's the first time you've ever been hit in your life. You overreact. You make multiple Twitter videos about it. You make YouTube videos about it, and now you're trying to sue the guy?
I'm not trying. I am suing him.
Why didn't you?
I guess it happened a little bit before the apology, huh?
You just hit him back.
I guess it could. I guess that's an interesting question. I mean, you can sue if you want, but I guess that's a hell of a question.
That's not how it works, dude, Keem.
If he hit you first, it's fair and square. What the fuck are you talking about? My take is this. You talk shit to people, and then when they confront you, then you turn all beta, and you're like, oh, no, it's not a big deal, blah, blah, blah. And it's...
Maybe that's a fair point. I don't know.
Like, I don't know. It's like that you're lonely.
Now, the second reason why Jeremy bringing Keemstar on was a bad idea was because Keem let Medicare onto Quartering stream for a second session of ass paddling.
That's crazy.
How you doing there, buddy?
I'm doing great.
Oh, how you doing there? How you doing there, Soulboy? How's it going?
Oh, I'm doing great. How come we're not on your channel?
Oh, because you're the one that invited me over here, remember?
Did you stream last Sunday? I missed it.
No, see, I didn't want to be a
Whoa!
beg
Oh, I guess censor that.
people for money when somebody's doing a charity stream like somebody else did.
So you saying you kissed the ring of Monday Matt last weekend?
Oh no, I just didn't want to steal money from children like an asshole might do.
Well,
you know
who
what I
did
mean?
that? All the thousands of dollars that Ralph donated? Oh wait, none of that. None of that actually made it.
No, well, I think it's the same guy that had to do a GoFundMe because it beat him up.
Me?
Whoa! Censor that as well, August. Jesus Christ.
No.
Yeah, you got slapped around by a man in a dress. You're a real strong guy, Jeremy.
Keem,
you talk
you're
all this
still
shit to Keem. You're a cuck, Keem. You're a coward. You're a pussy. You're a bitch. All this shit.
Well, I can see why. Very niche community. I can see why people. Okay. Wow, that's something.
He shows up and it's. Can I suck your balls a little harder? Oh, squirt it down my throat.
No,
Keem.
Jim, come on, dude. His take was what? That I sued a guy and he didn't agree with it. Okay, hot take.
No, his take was that you're a beta pussy bitch. You got beat up by a. You are.
Well, censor it again there.
Lying about being emotionally damaged with your lawsuit, and he's probably going to.
Oh, was he talking about how he was emotionally damaged? Yeah, that might be a bit of a little bit of an excessive claim there, huh?
Make fun of your wife, but you didn't show him a picture. Oh, and also you're boring as shit and you talk way too slow. That was his take. I didn't hear anything from you.
Well, I mean, am I supposed to post pictures of my wife to impress anonymous internet people or no?
You told him you would.
This is sad. I left. I was waiting to get Jim in here to see him battle. I tried to go at you a little bit, rile you up, but you just sucked my dick. You're just sad, dude.
What am I?
Jesus Christ.
What did I suck your dick, Keem?
You got on your knees
Nothing gets you in fight mode. A guy punching you in the face doesn't get you in fight mode.
What am I supposed to?
Beta.
And now
How come he looked like Frankenstein there? What the fuck was that?
that's the story of how Jeremy went 2-0 in a span of like 40 minutes on his own stream. Not the soldier
Got a little bit nay-nade on that one, dude. Got a little nay-nade.
Sargon wanted, but probably the one he deserved. That would be the end of Quartering's short-lived blood sports career. By the end of next year, the entire skeptic sector ecosystem would have changed anyway. The skeptics would basically disintegrate through people leaving, infighting, self-destructing, and the liberalist movement collapsing after Sargon's big debut into mainstream politics turned into one of the most brutal public humiliation rituals in British history. And credit where it's due, TheQuartering would come out of this tumultuous early era of his channel not only intact but thriving. His channel would become a
Is it fucking Jerome Powell printing money? It's just so silly.
printing behemoth. And honestly, if that was it, if Jeremy was just a popular YouTuber, I wouldn't have made this video. But Jeremy wasn't satisfied with being just a popular YouTuber making a high 6-figure to low 7-figure income. That wasn't
That's crazy, dude. Shit, imagine making a low 7-figure. Imagine making $1 million a year, dude. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy, dude.
entrepreneurial enough for him. Nah, he needed a non-YouTube related business to make money off of. And this, in my opinion, is this dude's biggest problem. Because Jeremy Hambley is one of the most cartoonishly bad businessmen I have ever seen. Before we get to the post-skeptic era of Jeremy's career, we gotta talk business. Something a lot of YouTubers end up leaning into if they have any long-term thinking. The desire to take your YouTube riches and invest it into something outside of YouTube isn't unique to TheQuartering. It's basically a requirement for all YouTubers unless you plan on getting another job or doing YouTube until you hit retirement age.
Hey, that's the point. I mean, I'm assuming he's talking about like an outside business to like sell something. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you could do that.
Which is shocking amount of middle-aged dudes on this platform unironically seem to plan to do.
Stop, dude. Stop making fun of me, bro. I'm fucking 36. Boogie's like 50, okay? Stop.
TheQuartering wasn't wrong to try.
It's interesting, though, because I do think that, and maybe this is like a massive cope, so who the fuck knows? But I do think that there is a pathway for people to continue to make content as they get older, especially now when we're like looking at content a little bit differently. You know, like back then it's like, oh, who makes a fucking YouTube video? Losers, probably true. But also it's kind of like a more of a long form career in some capacity. I would generally say there is some like, general long form in nature to it. because it's becoming more mainstream. Like you see a lot of people have like a professional business on here. You see like movies and TV shows being put on here. So
and duplicate his streams of revenue off-site. Tons of popular YouTubers have made legit off-site businesses off of their YouTube fame and money. The issue is purely in execution. Now, some of you might say, well, Mikey, the majority of people who try to make content for a living never get any support. And if they do, they're lucky to just make minimum wage. Jeremy becoming a millionaire off content creation is genuinely an impressive feat. And okay, I don't
that is true. It is true.
disagree. But is being a successful content creator the same thing as being a successful businessman? There are literal teenagers who don't know shit about running a business, making an LLC, filing
Well, they probably, I think that somebody like Speed probably hire somebody else to help them with the business aspect.
their taxes or anything besides making videos, indoor streaming, and still end up as millionaires before they can legally drink. Running a successful business and running a successful YouTube channel are two separate enterprises.
I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like running a business to some degree is like, this is a business, right? Like, I don't think that that's crazy to say.
I feel most people understand this. Jeremy ain't most people. He's barely human for real. And his admittedly exceptional success as a YouTuber has got to put him under a self-afflicted genjutsu, wherein he believes he's a competent businessman too. He ain't. Closest he ever got was Be Your Own IT, which barely made any money, and which he sold off for more than it was worth the second he got the opportunity. There's also Marketing Sheriff LLC, which is just a small digital marketing firm he started in 2014 that would never become a known agency brand and is essentially just a business shell for Quartering's online work. Matter of fact, let's go over an entrepreneurial catastrophe of Jeremy's from this time, because it's a great example of what I'm getting at. We go back to late 2018. It's December, and it's a big moment for the Big Ham Planet, because he was launching a new ambitious project, exclusively games. It was going to be a gaming news website with videos and articles written by journalists along with a forum, all of which Quartering pitched as a politics-free haven for gamers.
Politics free. This guy's like super politically charged. How is he going to be able to pull off a politics free type of a fucking platform or format? That doesn't even make sense to me.
Hey, great idea, bro. How you gonna pay for that? A small forum is one thing, but you're talking
Good question.
about building something like IGN. Well, the solution to that was simple. He was going to crowdfund the money. Despite making a pretty heavy bag from YouTube at this point, Quartering still decided to launch an Indiegogo campaign for $5,000. And ain't it interesting how Jeremy, who brags about how much money he makes and who claims he was making
net probably low sevens.
Okay.
Damn, he's saying low seven figures, baby. It's a lot of money. God bless.
by 2018 still had to crowdfund $5,000 from his fans. Anyway.
That is fucking crazy. I mean, maybe he was using it to see if there was an interest. Well, it seems like he crowdfunded $160,000, so I don't know what you're talking about 5 for. But okay.
The campaign was a success. Quartering would end up raising almost $160,000 by the campaign's end. Okay, we got some motion here, some real fan support. Now you would think when Exclusively Games launched in 2019, everything would be smooth. What with Jeremy getting over 3,000% more than what he initially needed to even get it off the ground. You would be... The site was violently burning through money from day one.
How? How do you burn through money on I mean, I guess you have to pay people to write articles. Just find it interesting.
Main problems for Exclusively Games came down to two very poorly thought out promises Quartering made beforehand. One was that he was gonna be hands-off editorially. This was his way of not scaring the hoes, so to speak. Possibly warding off people who wouldn't want to touch the site because he was...
Sorry, what was it?
One was that he was gonna be hands-off editorially.
What? I mean, I guess it makes sense for him to be hands-off editorially because he probably doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, you know? But at the same time, you need an editor. You know what I mean? Like, you need somebody to be an editor. So it seems like maybe a really bad call. It seems like a really bad call to be... I mean, you have to have somebody being hands-on when it comes to your editing. So, I don't know if it's necessarily the best call to just not Is somebody else doing the editing? I don't understand.
This was his way of not scaring the hoes, so to speak. Possibly warding off people who wouldn't want to touch the site because he was affiliated with it. It didn't work. Obviously.
I mean, I feel like that would never happen anyway. He still owns it, and he's like a face of the company. He was crowd source funding for it. So it doesn't really make any sense for him to even try to do that. It's just a dumb idea. What the fuck?
Obviously, because, I mean, you own it, nigga. You were...
Stop. That's crazy. Jesus Christ. Holy fuck.
always going to be affiliated with it regardless. It also meant that when things started getting funky at Exclusively Games, he wouldn't be able to put out the fires because he literally wasn't paying attention to this website he had taken $160,000 from his audience to make.
Was somebody else paying attention to it, you know?
Second bad promise was that he promised there would be no ads. All the money would be made from donations and merch sales.
Why? What a weird, that's such a weird thing. I feel like ads are great. Like they're a way for you to engage with somebody's content without having to pay for it. What's so bad about advertisements? That makes no fucking sense to me, to be honest with you. That seems like a dumb virtue signal, no? At least that's how I look at it.
The problem with this idea is that it only really works as a business model if you have a lot of dedicated users/whales. Exclusively Games did not. As for the other problems, well, it'd be simpler for me to just read these messages of people who worked at and used Exclusively Games. He spent $2.5K to have the review section redesigned. Ground up, the developers took about 2 to 3 weeks to finish. Isn't he struggling for money? Yup. They finished. They put the reviews in a staging area. On offline version of the site, only the admins have access to. They worked brilliantly, better than ever. Apparently, Jeremy forgot about it, and despite 2 to 3 emails of them asking if they should go live with the new version, he never responded.
Wait, why? Why would he not respond? You spend money on trying to like revamp the look of the website, and you don't just say like, yeah, go for it.
I didn't either, but
yeah, it is an L monetization strategy because I feel like more people would rather like look at an ad than anything else. It's like, oh yeah, especially since like it doesn't seem like they're videos. Maybe I'm wrong. So what is it, like a border ad? It seems, who cares?
Wasn't my job to at this point. The site sounds like it'll be dead in a year. Yeah, it's on fumes now. He's out of money for it 100%. I like Jeremy. He's always been goodish to me. He paid me very well, but I can't save EG, and he wouldn't let me even if I tried. Too controlling. I mean, I don't know 100% about EG, but it's costly as fuck to go about this the way he is. 160K could keep a website plus staff afloat for maybe 6 to 12 months. This one is my favorite. Indian devs doing weird shit. He outsourced the site to India?
Oh, his audience isn't going to be happy about that. Also, if you're an American company, why bother doing that?
OMG, I didn't tell you? He just fired them last week for sending in bills for things we never ordered. They probably sensed that he didn't have a good grasp of the financial situation, given that he just paid them $2.5K for nothing. So I think they tried to milk a little $100 here, $250 there, and he caught on finally. Yeah, that's right. The quartering out.
It seems to be conflicting. The one hand, people are like, "Hey, we charge to revamp a website," which makes, I don't know, if $2,500 is a lot for whatever aspect they did. And the other ones are like, "Oh, he decided not to do it because he caught on." So I don't know. I guess maybe. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. So it seems like there's conflicting. There seems to be conflicting information that we're getting here.
Source of the maintenance of the site, he took $160,000 from his fans to create to some random Indians who scammed him, because of course they did. Things started going so bad for Exclusively Games that Jeremy ran a second fundraiser in July 2019 and got another $50K from his mark-ass followers. It didn't help. By May 2020, despite being over $200,000 in the hole of other people's money, by the way, Jeremy would announce that Exclusively Games was on pause.
When I started this project, it was
wow, starting projects and then not finishing them. Who would ever do that? They seem to be like really big projects. It sounds like he's not really super into committing to like the projects that he's engaging in. Like he's like being half-assed about everything. That seems to be like the case more than anything else.
Passion project, one that I wanted to prove that a website that doesn't rely on outrage can exist in modern day. My plan was,
I don't understand, his entire platform is outrage farming. I don't understand why he would go back on that now.
to crowdfund as long as it took to eventually build up a YouTube channel that would then fund the channel. Well, after the first 6 months, the YouTube channel really didn't pick up very much steam, wasn't generating any money, and between paying an editor and people to do social media and to write articles, the money disappeared very quickly. So we ran a second fundraiser, and at that point, I had made it...
Well, why are you running fundraisers? I don't understand. Why don't you supply some of the capital yourself? If you're making $1 million a year slop tubing, I don't understand why you couldn't put some capital and make some changes. Wouldn't it be a better change to be like, yeah, we decided that we're going to run ads on some stuff? Like, wouldn't that be a more productive change? No?
My goal to figure out how to get this funded without continuing to ask for handouts, because I wanted the site to exist on its own. Well, that didn't work. I tried running Amazon ads. I tried doing a couple of different, ads like that. At the end of the day, the site really failed to reach critical mass. Much of that falls on me for not advertising it enough.
Some disgruntled fans of TheQuartering, unamused by his bullshit, launched an imitation site, also called Exclusively Games, with the same logo, forum, and even Twitter handle.
That's pretty funny. Are they actually is he gonna try to sue them? Or did he try to sue them? Or did he just let them do whatever they wanted to?
It didn't last for long, but it goes to show the passion that some of TheQuartering's fans had was genuine, and
I thought they were doing it to like mock him, but
could have actually had something on his hands if he was just more competent.
How the fuck does he have passionate fan base? It's fucking insane to me.
All in all, it turned out to be more of a money-burning exercise than anything else.
That seems to be the case, yeah.
Game Finder almost looked competently executed by comparison. And that's just the beginning. There was also that time in 2020 when the pandemic was taking the world by storm that TheQuartering would obtain a $32,500 PPP loan for Marketing Sheriff LLC.
Why? Why would he need a loan like that?
As part of the COVID-19 relief program. A loan
what?
Which was fully forgiven by the government. Now,
why? Why would he why would he need that money? For what? What the fuck?
Now, Jeremy is far from the only businessman to take advantage of this program during the pandemic. But Jeremy, who likes to think of himself as a real businessman who got it out the mud and didn't take handouts, gets a little upset when people compare PPP to other types of loan forgiveness. It's okay, bro. You're not less of a man.
What did he need loan forgiveness for? I don't understand. What was he doing that would warrant the necessity of loan forgiveness? He makes online videos.
Man, just because you got off on PPP. You are less of a man because of that time you ran away from a bread tuber in August of 2020, though.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
What happened is one evening, TheQuartering's wino tendencies got him into some trouble again. While drunk, he badgered and eventually agreed to a debate with the Surf Times if the Surf Times could raise $5K for charity.
God, the fucking Surf. Does this guy even do anything anymore? This is like crazy. There's all this fucking shit going on here. It's crazy when you see all these different fellas,
The Surf Times then went on to raise 8 times that for a trans charity. Now,
whoa, 8 times that? It's crazy.
Now, when the time came for Jeremy to show up or shut up, he ran. He ran away.
Jeremy wouldn't do that. I had a scheduled debate with a harsh critic of mine. In good faith, I agreed to speak to him for charity's sake. This week, they have taken to a charity live stream and raised money spreading absurd lies about me. Okay. Who would have thought?
With his tail tucked between his fat thighs.
I had scheduled a debate with a harsh critic of mine. In good faith, I agreed to speak to them for charity's sake. This week, they have taken to a charity live stream and raised money spreading absurd lies about me and showing anything but good faith.
No way. No way.
I should have known. I'll keep to my word about donating money, but this will be the last time I agree to speak to these people in good faith. I've maintained radio...
I guess you got some of that money from that PPP loan, huh?
silence, not engaged or fired shots at them, but they simply couldn't be bothered to extend the same comedy.
Shit boy.
It goes on. Moving forward, it's pretty hilarious how these folks consider themselves so full of virtue. I wonder what the charity would think about them using the platform of raising money to help trans people. Was at least
Why is this guy's mic like a webcam look like shit?
partly funded by harassing and bullying others.
Oh, wow.
Hypocrites as usual.
This motherfucker really ducked the debate with a bread tuber. Grown-ass man who talks shit about other people for a living, who one of his biggest gravy trains was making fun of other people in the magic community and obsessing over Brie Larson, was crying because a bread tuber was cyberbullying him.
Damn. Well, I don't understand why he even promised to talk to the person, and why doesn't he think that it makes him look bad if he would do stuff like that? Like, I don't get that either. Don't you think you'd look like a fucking fool? No? You'd think you'd look really bad doing, like, just lying. Coming up with an excuse not to talk to people. Because that's exactly what it looks like. Why does he not care about his fucking own credibility? It's fucking stupid.
My thoughts on this are encapsulated by a tweet by Vouch of all people. What an unbelievable pussy. TheQuartering said he'd only debate at the Surfs TV if he gave $5,000 to charity. So Lance went ahead and raised over $40,000 for Trans Mutual Aid in a massive 36-hour marathon.
What exactly did he say that was so slanderous or whatever that he was claiming?
And now TheQuartering is backing out.
Damn, TheQuartering is fucking funny.
Just embarrassing. But what's amazing is that this still wasn't the most embarrassing thing to have happened to TheQuartering that month.
Damn.
No, that honor goes to something before this, to Pissgate.
Yeah, I heard about Pissgate. I heard about the Pissgate shit. Did he just go pee in like the corner of his room or something?
Time Jeremy got blackout drunk and pissed in his basement.
Hey, listen, I got a bathroom in my basement.
Never know. Maybe I'm gonna pee in my trash can down here. I don't know. My wife went out for pizza without me, and I'm angry about it.
Somebody in the chat said my wife went out for pizza without me, and I was like, okay, whatever, that sucks, dude. I didn't know this was fucking meme.
So I'm gonna win this round, and I'm gonna pee. If I don't win this round, I'm gonna pee in my own basement.
In a garbage can? I always thought it was like a drain. I was like, whatever.
What do we think about that?
That's great. Sounds like a great
I don't have
marriage.
a bathroom down here. I was ready to pee my pants. I'm ready. I don't have a toilet down here. All I have is a drain in the floor. I feel like we're gonna have to use it though. I feel like we're gonna have to use it. I gotta pee so bad. I gotta pee so bad.
Why doesn't he just go upstairs and piss like a normal person? I have a bathroom in my basement, so it doesn't matter. But why doesn't he just go piss correctly?
I gotta pee so bad. I gotta pee so bad. I gotta pee so bad. I'll never survive this round.
What the fuck?
I'm not gonna survive this round. I gotta pee so bad. Nobody's been eliminated either.
I gotta pee too, but...
Get up! Get up! No!
Okay.
I've literally never lost that round. But I'm ready. I'm ready now. Oh my god. I just peed in my basement.
Okay. Incredible stuff, bud.
No, not in the kitty litter. Just in the drain. In the drain. Look, if you want to watch a streamer that wants to pee in the potty, go watch someone else. When you're a pro gamer like me, yeah, I mean, if you're a dude that...
Why, I'm not understanding, like, why is there even a drain in his basement in the first place? I don't understand that.
If you want to watch a dude that's going to piss in the fucking overflow tank in his basement, that's who I am.
Okay, good for you, I guess.
I'm not taking a pause to pee.
I guess you can just get away with shit like this when you're just known for regurgitating news 5 to 6 times a day. And that's the story of how TheQuartering, aka PP Piss Piss Boy, relieved himself on the floor of his basement.
PP Piss Piss Boy. That's a beautiful, I think. It's incredible.
All in all,
wait a minute.
2020 wasn't the best year for Jeremy. A lot of it came down to, well, him. But the alcohol definitely helped.
That was 2020. Damn, people still talk about that shit? Damn, he really isn't gonna live that one down, huh? A shilling.
We jump to 2022, the year, in my opinion, that's been the most fateful for the quartering after 2017. It was the year he would purposely shackle the heaviest ball and chain he could to his ankle, voluntarily branding himself with a brand of sacrifice that would see financial demons hunting him down for years to come. This was the year that he would, in May, announce coffee brand coffee.
Ah, yes. Isn't that still successful, though? Doesn't he still make money doing the coffee stuff?
If you've been on my channel for any amount of time, you know I've spent the better part of the last 5 years covering companies who have gotten woke and eventually gotten broke.
It's so funny because this is like his third business because the other one's failed.
Lamenting how major companies like Disney or even ice cream makers.
Has Disney gone broke? Fuck, I didn't even know that. So shit. News to me, I guess.
Or comic books have at best become politically divisive and at worst outright attack their own customers.
Damn.
Well,
with like a knife? Like, what is that? No, he's hemorrhaging money. He loses a lot of money? Really? Wow. Why would who would have thought? Okay. I'm surprised. Is he just crowdfunding for it, or what is he doing for the money now? Guys, I need your money, please. Give me it.
Sat on the sidelines long enough, and I've decided that I was going to put my money where my mouth was and get into the game. Introducing coffee brand coffee. So yeah, I bought a coffee company.
And man,
we'd love to hear it, baby.
And Quartering would really act like this was going to be his biggest move yet. That this was going to be the crown jewel of his entrepreneurial journey. What it would actually turn out to be is a financial burden, a money pit, and a masterclass on how not to run a business. First,
is it really that bad?
We'll start with the conceptual phase. From the beginning, Jeremy's attitude with this business ordeal of his was a little problematic. He talked about all the
isn't the biggest problem that you have to import coffee from other countries? Do we even grow coffee in America? I don't even know.
Other businesses he's covered over the years that have failed, but presenting their failings as a result of them just gotten.
Oh, we do in Hawaii. Okay, I guess you can get it from Hawaii. I guess some in California. Okay, cool. And some in Puerto Rico.
Woke and eventually gotten broke.
Never mind that there have been woke-free and straight-up anti-woke businesses that have also gone broke. But Jeremy had fooled himself into believing that as long as he didn't become an obnoxious ideologue, his coffee company
isn't that what he is already, though? You know,
would magically make money. That's not how this works. Conceptual phase problem number 2. Starting a coffee company as your breakout business as a YouTuber is so played out, it's basically parody at this point.
Do a lot of people make coffee companies? That's interesting. I would have never expected a bunch of people to have made coffee companies, but okay.
Like, how much coffee do these niggas think the average person drinks?
Some people drink a good amount of coffee.
That ain't even the worst of it. Because if you're a content creator and you start your own coffee brand, your main competition isn't going to be the other content creator-owned coffee brands. It's going to be the mainstream brands of coffee everybody already buys.
Why not do like a podcast or something? I don't understand. Or actually, I guess it makes sense because it seems like he's not really trying to do something that he feels like needs facilitates like effort or necessitates effort rather. Seems like he's just trying to like do something that he could start like a business on, and then let it ride. That's what it sounds like. Maybe that's the issues that he's having here. You know.
And are readily available on shelves at Walmart, Target, Costco, etc. And this brings us to conceptual phase problem number 3. The name. Quartering naming his coffee company Coffee Brand Coffee is simultaneously the most arrogant and most retarded thing he has ever done. The cojones on this pendejo to give his coffee this placeholder ass name and this generic minimalist off-brand aesthetic really speaks to how high he had gotten on his own supply. He really thought he was like that he could sell this shit based on his own name recognition.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I guess not. Why not name it something like some kind of military thing? I don't know. The quartering coffee might actually work. but something a little more like, isn't there a rifle brand of coffee that kind of, you know, if you're trying to do some kind of like, you know, almost screaming conservative thing, wouldn't it make sense to play into that a little bit more? That doesn't make sense to me. I don't know.
Maybe even thought that
Hey, you got to respect the grind. How many is this now? Come on.
this giant audience would buy up his whole stock in the first year, so he wouldn't need to make use of that
Well, my question is how is he doing the coffee infrastructure? That's the one thing I kind of question. Like, is he? How do you do that? Is he just like offsetting it to another company to do it for him so he could try to collect money off of it? What does his business model even look like? Because coffee seems to be kind of like a high maintenance product.
masters in internet marketing and actually
Like, you have to have a factory, you got to import the beans, you got to package it. Does he get them imported to himself? Like, what does he do?
actually market his
Why coffee?
product to him. He would be wrong. Because Quartering would spend the next few years from the time he launched it to the date of me making this video struggling to sell his generic, boring, overpriced coffee to anyone, including his fans. Turns out when you name your product something that if you put it into Google, you get 9,000.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I guess if you just put, I guess you'd look up coffee brand to coffee, but that's not really unique enough. You could potentially just get flooded out by other coffee things.
Other products first, it's kind of hard to sell. You would think a dude with a degree in marketing would know that, but I guess not.
Isn't marketing one of like the most worthless worthless degrees you can get?
So literally, before the company even got off the ground, the odds of it being a success were already in the single
Anthropology, philosophy, religious studies, music, theater, and fine arts, and sociology. Oh. What am I thinking of then? I feel like marketing is... Oh, okay. Maybe I'm wrong.
digit percentage range. If Jeremy had consulted anybody
I thought it was one of the worst, but okay.
else first, maybe the future woes he would have had to endure could have been avoided. But that's the downside of being rich and also being
Maybe it's a good one.
your own boss. You develop an ego and start thinking you don't need to get a second opinion on shit. Bro really started thinking he was the
Should just call it the basement brand coffee. Piss in a whole coffee, dude.
Elon Musk of YouTube, who he loves, by the way. Jeremy's admiration of Elon is so strong, in fact, that in December of 2022, after Elon bought Twitter, Jeremy got overexcited, got piss boy levels of drunk again, and had a meltdown about how much he loved Elon and wanted to eat his semen just like he ate Sargon.
Why? I don't understand, like, the desire, the love for Elon Musk. I don't get it. This guy bought, like, all of his companies. He just fucking, I don't understand it.
I literally got out of bed to make this video.
Why?
My most important video that I've literally ever made on this channel.
Why?
I'm tired. I've been working 14 hours a day. I'm on fumes. Like, pure gas.
What is he working? What does he work 14 hours a day to do? Like, his content is just scrolling across Twitter and finding things to complain about on Twitter. And then he just throws them up. I don't 14 hours a day. I don't even know if I believe that, dude. What the fuck?
But this decision, this minute, this moment is so important that I'm willing to F up my entire week. I'm blowing my entire notification window for this video because it's important. It's the most...
Blowing your notification window? You're posting like 5 videos a day. What's left? Like, your notifications are cooked regardless. What does he talk about?
Important video I've ever done. What? Elon Musk has put out a poll.
Wow.
Should I step down as head of Twitter? It is currently 56.3% to 43.7%. It's actually gotten a little bit closer. I need you to go to Elon Musk's Twitter right now.
What?
Go to his poll and vote no.
So what was
so pressing about that he had to get out of bed at night? By the way, like, if the video, that's fucking insane. It sounds like the video is literally just like, hey, Elon Musk tweeted, I really wanted to respond to this, and I made a video about it. What the fuck? What a weirdo.
Quartering's brilliant idea on how he was going to sell his coffee? by shilling it constantly and shamelessly. Shilling your own products
It's just so weird. What a weirdo. Why is he obsessed with Elon Musk? It's so strange.
isn't the worst thing in the world. It's actually quite respectable to sell something to your audience that you made yourself rather than shill products to some random company whose stuff you might not even use or would have endorsed if you weren't receiving a check for it. But the problem with Jeremy's shilling of CBC is volume and desperation. Quartering would literally never miss an opportunity to shill coffee brand coffee. The pinnacle.
Well, I mean, he should put it in his thing, you know? He should put it inside of his, like, a bio, whatever you'd call it, but okay.
Of Quartering's relentless quest to shill coffee brand coffee. Just the moment that really embodies how desperate this dude has been to sell a single bag of this overpriced bullshit of his is when on June 8th of 2022, when Tim Pool, a longtime associate of Quartering's and fellow YouTube news slopper, got swatted during one of his Timcast streams. Now the chat was still live while Tim and the others were away, and while they were, the Quartering went into Tim's chat and shilled his fucking coffee.
That's fucking crazy, honestly. Holy shit, that's fucking preposterous. Why? What a weirdo. What the fuck? He got swatted, so he's in there. He spent $100. This is a high stress moment, likely a great moment to brew up some delicious cup of coffee brand coffee. If the stress is getting to you, perhaps one of our new teas will calm you. Maybe a velvety up of coffee brand coffee cocoa. Okay, that's fucking insane, but all right, that's a good plug, bud.
This is a high-stress moment,
I just read it.
likely a great
Okay.
moment to brew up a delicious cup of coffee brand coffee if the stress is getting you.
Okay.
Perhaps one of our new teas will calm you? Maybe a velvety cup of coffee brand cocoa. Jeremy did this
Oh, cocoa. My bad. Excuse me.
like 4 or 5 times before Tim returned, and even replied with further shilling under all of Tim's tweets.
I heard,
That's fucking insane, bro. Holy shit.
you know what the craziest?
What a gross. I mean, like, the dude gets swatted. What a gross thing to do. The dude gets swatted and you're immediately donating money so you could get free advertisement. It's really fucked up. Holy shit. That's actually preposterous shit, dude. What the fuck?
Thing was, when we were outside, right, and cops were in the suite, we just kept hearing coffee brand coffee. And I was like, listen, coffee. And I was like, what? Looking around. And then I open the chat and all I see is Chet's coffee brand coffee. I'm like, what's happening? Quartering. Jeremy. He gave us $400.
More than that.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Bro literally
All
has
right.
no sense of shame. Now what's funny is that Quartering
I mean, that kind of that was pretty cheap for to be honest with you, considering, you know, he just got a huge plug for $400.
joked on Twitter, look, I'm not saying I caused the swatting at Tim Pool's house just to hawk my delicious coffee,
Haktua.
organic teas, and indulgent cocoas, but I'm not saying that, and then
All
proceeded
right.
to get swatted himself just a few hours later.
Wow.
That's what you get, fam. Push you. Yeah, blood. Whose end are you coming to now, fam? Dickhead.
Despite all this shilling, hawking, suspiciously hyper
Haktuing?
positive 5-star reviews, and promises about how he'd get coffee brand coffee on store shelves by the end of 2022, reception to Quartering's coffee has always remained mixed, and he's always struggled to sell any of it. Now, just because Quartering was sinking in the commercial
I really just don't understand why he would do a coffee business of all things as his way to try to, like, as his business. Aren't there better things that you could do? Whatever.
quicksand that was his coffee company, that wouldn't stop him from starting another business just a year later. See, this is how cocky bro was. He was just swimming in money, huffing in all his mustiness, thinking he was gonna be making 9 figures by 2030 or whatever. The motivation for this particular capitalist venture, however, wasn't just Quartering's desire to have a legitimate business, it was to simp.
Oh, Lord. The Simping. That's what they should have called it.
Specifically, the simp for Sydney Watson, the Australian-American
Oh, okay, gotcha.
former Blaze employee who, along
Does he like his wife? I don't understand.
with Elijah Schaefer, who was also present at Jan 6 and went inside the Capitol building in Nancy
what a loser.
Pelosi's office with Bait Alaska and even took a picture of Nancy Pelosi's email, but was the only person who went inside the Capitol and never faced any punishment for it for some reason.
Well, they all got pardoned, so I guess at this point it doesn't matter.
Hosted the show You Are Here Together. After Sydney left the Blaze and got in a lawsuit with him, she was kinda left in a bad spot. So Jeremy decided to bust out his cape and play Captain Save a Sheila, and they would, in late 2022, start a new show together called Community Notes. But the Save a Sheila didn't stop
Community Notes
there. Now, in March 2023,
are they referring to Twitter? This looks like the same thing he's already doing. Are they just reading Am I the Asshole as their podcast? Okay.
TheQuartering would team up with Sydney to launch a whole website called The Publica. The Publica would be a politics and culture news site for free thinkers and mischief makers that would be a grassroots alternative to mainstream media. And TheQuartering would front
Wow, we've never seen anything like that.
$2,500,000 into this venture.
2,500,000? What is 2,500,000?
Sure.
It's disappointing to hear about Sydney, but I don't know what anyone takes Lauren Southern seriously. Yeah, I mean, I was heartbroken when I saw her messages.
What is 2,500? Is my brain broken? $2,500,000. What is that? I'm so confused. 2,500 is $2,500. 2,500. Is he talking about like $250,000? I'm fucking so confused right now.
Like literally told people, you know, I went out of my way to try and help her with her tea company, and she had no idea how to do fulfillment or any of this shit. And I was like, hey, let me help you with that. And because she didn't like the price that it would cost me, by the way, I was making no money on it, she told all these other people in these private DM groups that I was ripping her off. But by the way, meanwhile, I had paid about $250,000
$250,000? Holy shit.
to start the Publica, and she'd paid $0.
Nigga, you's a mark. Nigga, you's a lame. Nigga, you's a nerd. Nigga, you soft. Nigga, you frail. Nigga, you look like you a tail. Nigga, you's a buster. Nigga, you's a sucker. Nigga, you look like if your bitch told you she fucked another nigga but say she won't do it again. Nigga, you look like you a truster.
This thirsty
Wow, that was a lot of information.
as happily married man through a
That's his wife? She's not. What is the fuck? Why does he hate his wife so much? What the fuck?
$250,000 away in a vain attempt to build a new media empire with Sydney Watson. TheQuartering likes to say shit like,
I learned long ago that internet foins is dumb.
Why can't I get through
That's
here
why I
now?
don't do collabs. So I don't take selfies with other YouTubers. I'm
What the
just here to
fuck?
get on my grind.
but I don't know, Jeremy. Throwing $250,000 into a collab with a bitch you barely know is definitely a few steps beyond what most people would do for their internet
What is
friends.
happening here?
Jeremy actually really wants internet friends more than the average e-celeb does. He yearns for acknowledgement and acceptance from his peers like Dankula, Sargon, Tim Pool, and especially conservative women like Sydney, along with Lauren Southern, Lauren Chin, and pretty much any other right-wing chick he tried to bait using his money. Sydney barely gave him crumbs of attention before, by the way. But
Well, he's probably a weirdo. Honestly, he's probably like super awkward, and that's why. I mean, I can't imagine. Why would he do? I mean, why would you invest that heavily into someone you don't even know without them giving you anything? Weird guy.
But now that she was in a vulnerable state and having burned several bridges with conservative influencers she probably shouldn't have, she
Oh, is that what it is? Everybody just is with infighting, constantly ruining each other's relationships, and they just go to like the weirdest person.
had to rely on Jeremy, who swooped in to be the extremely awkward and creepy
You don't believe he ever had $250,000? He probably makes a lot of money. He posts like 10 videos a day.
hero that Sydney probably didn't want but definitely deserved. And when I say awkward and creepy, I'm not just pulling a quartering and pulling stuff out of my cheeks. On the show, Jeremy would often let loose slips like,
My DMs are closed. I'd get too many dick pics.
Okay.
Do you? Oh.
Just loads of them.
Ah,
And they're not
that's-
great either. They're not great. They're like flaccid. Girl, have you
Okay, that's an interesting thing to say.
You ever peed in a trough where there's like dongs on the left of you and to the right? You can see them both.
You
and
don't
you're
have to
peeing
look
in an
at
open
them.
river.
You don't have to look at them. It's
You
not
have
like
to look. It's a respect thing. If there's a guy
What the fuck is happening right now?
who is like supremely hung, you would like rib him about it. You know what I mean? Versus like
I truly have no fucking idea what he means. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you guys.
Be jealous.
And it wouldn't be Jeremy without him getting drunk and saying weird shit on Twitter he would have to delete later once he sobered up, like this one. If this post ends on an odd number of replies, Sydney will post a lewd photo in the replies.
What is wrong with this guy? What does he do? Why is he thirst trapping his co-host? What?
One can only imagine what Sydney's DMs from this period look like.
She's probably really pissed off about that too.
Anyway, Operation Simping for Sydney ultimately ended in failure after the public.
Yeah, I wonder why she disconnected the podcast with him. That's fucking weird as shit, dude. What the fuck? Thank you for the $2 from Jarhead Devil Dog, just like Mr. Hammer, the closet is yeah, true.
Failed to gain any traction and struggled to hit even 20% of its subscription goal.
So I have to make a little bit of an announcement. Myself and my good friend Sydney Watson launched
my good friend
a media company back in February 2022, known as The Publica. Almost everybody, on a personal note, who worked for that site did it for almost peanuts. But sadly, my time with The Publica has come to an end. My career has been evolving, and I've just been spread too thin, and I need...
Career is evolving. Incredible.
Need more time and space for personal projects.
According to former employees, Quartering fired the staff while drunk in the middle of the night, and Sydney, though she wouldn't outright trash him, has avoided being caught up in the Quarter Planet's orbit too much ever since. Hey, nobody said Simping was easy. Or cheap. Another failed business venture and another failed attempt to catch himself an e-girl. But that was okay. Jeremy was gonna throw more money at another conservative woman.
There you go. That's the way to do it, baby.
And he wouldn't make the money back on, namely Melanie Mack. Now, she isn't the only woman currently employed by the Quartering. He has several people, male and female, on.
What the fuck? Does he have like a whole infrastructure? I mean, good for him, I guess. I didn't even realize he was that business savvy. Okay, good for Quartering.
His payroll that he probably shouldn't. But what makes Melanie stand out is not only does she not really bring anything to the table besides being one of several human money pits that orbit around the Quarter Planet and eat up his net.
The fucking Quarter Planet's insane.
Worth. But Jeremy is obviously fixated on and over-familiar with her to a degree he just isn't with any other co-host, and constantly white knights and fights battles for her to a degree that even as a boss trying to look...
Like, what exactly do they do? Like, how exactly does this infrastructure work? Like, what is going on here? I'm just a little confused. I'm just confused as to what is being created here, you know?
Look out for his employees is kind of much. It also makes his earlier words about Christine Sprinkle and her white knights look a little hypocritical in hindsight.
Well, yeah, it sounds like he had a crush on her, so he was bullying her.
This was most obvious during the brief Goonergate incident in December of last year, when Melanie and a handful of other culture war righties went crusading against not porn, but extremely sexualized content in male-targeted media in general. Now,
Isn't that what everybody's bitching about, that they want? Make girls attractive or whatever? Isn't that like the whole narrative? Everybody's all over the place with their narratives.
Now people started clapping back at Melanie and her anti-Gooner allies' Puritan stances, and also pointed out that Melanie, as a fan of Tomb Raider, was throwing stones from a glass house.
Oh, is Tomb Raider Gooner shit now? What the fuck?
Quartering would then come to Milady's defense against these Gooner nerds who just wanted to play big titty games all day.
You mean these based nerds?
Just to remind you guys how Jeremy was moving just a couple years ago.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here on Sleeve Media, and I've got a scoop for you. I've got some rejected art from Ixalan. You know, I don't know if you have seen this. I did share this image with the YouTubes. I'm not entirely sure why Wizards of the Coast wouldn't print this card. I mean, certainly very powerful, very intelligent, very thought-provoking.
That looks like AI, dude, but it's probably not. It looks weird as hell. Big tits, though. Nice stuff.
Lots to think about with this card. What's going on in Jor's mind here?
But Jeremy wasn't reflecting any of that. He just jumped at the opportunity to look good for an employee he'd be better off laying off. This is true for most of the quarterings.
Whoa, it's him and Smoking with Crowder.
Employees. He hires all these people to help run his businesses that all fail anyway.
I mean, I don't know. It seems like he's kind of been doing all right. It seems like he's successful. It seems like he has the disposable income to fail over and over and over again and still make everything work. So I guess good for him.
Say for his YouTube channel that could probably run just as well with just 1 or 2 full-time editors. The most use Quartering really gets out of these guys is as co-host on his Rumble streams, which he started mostly streaming from in 2023. Now he said it was because of free speech Rumble allowed compared to YouTube, which is preposterous. Like, Quartering's not even spicy enough for that to be an authentic reason. Part of the reason why Quartering's been able to thrive over the years anyway is because all of the actual edgy people, the far righties, the edgelord comedians, the shot jock streamers and whatnot, would all get banned during the late 10s, and there was a vacuum for milquetoast righties like Ben Shapiro, Tim Pool, in the Quartering to thrive in. The actual
I guess that kind of makes a little bit of sense. The people that were willing to play ball were left, and that was it. Yeah, I guess so.
Reason Jeremy went to Rumble was for the fat checks Rumble was going to pay him to stream from there, and the benefits of constantly being on Rumble's front page. Jeremy,
hey, listen, I guess I would do that too, huh?
His Rumble deal has made him a heavy chunk of change over the years, until it hasn't. See, Jeremy, despite his years of experience and frequent business failures at this point, still has failed to internalize one of the most basic rules of business, that is, preparing for downturns. When business is booming, everything's easy.
That's true. And sometimes you got those low points, dude. And they fuck you up, boy.
You can lose a couple stacks and
hopefully we can. My idea is hopefully for the next 3 years, as Trump is still in office, so I must get some pictures of it. We can rack up, and then we could stay firm because things are going to dial down for a while. You know, it's just a constant ebb and flow. Hopefully things keep pushing up, though. You know.
Coop it all and then some in a few years. But when winter comes, when the drought comes, when that recession hits and the revenue ain't hitting like it used to, is your business capable of weathering the momentary hardship and not just fall apart? The answer, if your name is Jeremy Hambly, is no. Quartering's entire empire was built off the back of his YouTube success. His endless stream of YouTube slot videos is his financial foundation. Everything else is supplementary. So when these other businesses have been failing, Jeremy was like, it's fine. When his staff payroll gets a little high, he's like, it'll be all right. Even when Rumble ended its deal with Jeremy, stopped paying him those big...
Damn, they ended the deal. Well, that's kind of fucked. Did he not do any type of like other infrastructure, like putting it up on YouTube?
Checks, his subscriptions there start drying up, and I
mean, I don't really understand exactly how this works, but it just looks like he just regularly live streams for like a lot of money. I don't really know how like the monetary infrastructure works for this, to be honest with you.
Didn't get reliably put on Rumble's front page anymore. He could still shrug and say, well, it's not great, but it's not the end of the world. But shit, it's different when his YouTube metrics start performing so well too.
Looks like there's some trouble in paradise.
See, Jeremy's been getting a bit anxious as of late, like actually losing his shit a bit.
I know a lot of you have been asking about my breathing, what's going on with that. It's from anxiety, and I've been having a lot of it lately. I've been trying to get off the medication.
Wait, he's on anxiety meds? Whoa.
I've been on, SSRIs for a long time for anxiety.
Wow.
And they tried to say, oh, well, let's up your dose, but I didn't want to do that. And my doctor's like, well, you know, it's not as effective anymore because you've been on it for such a long time.
That kind of makes sense. What the fuck is he on SSRIs for? I wonder if that's because of, I mean, everybody, like, people can have mental health issues, but I wonder if it's because, not necessarily mental health issue related, and it's more related to, like, being stressed out about comments or something.
You know, I'm hoping it's just a rough patch. It was a really, really, really stressful July between, you know, my foot. I had Achilles tendonitis, then I had gout, and then I had anxiety, and then I had...
Sounds like he's eating really poorly.
Had, you know, no paycheck for July because...
Why?
The Rumble deal expired. It was just a whole bunch...
Did you do YouTube?
Bunch of crazy, stressful stuff.
Now, you might look at these numbers and say, that's not bad. Well...
No, it's not. Like, he's pumping out content. I mean... Like I don't know, is it an average of like 50K like 5 times a day? Like he's like 5 videos worth of content a day. I mean, they're short, so maybe that's the problem, but
they are bad when you're an almost 2 million sub channel and you're hundreds of thousands of dollars in the hole and are employing way more people than you should.
I just don't understand the employment aspect of it. Like how many people does he really need to run his slop train?
Apparently, breaking even 70K on a video is no longer a guarantee for TheQuartering. Not unless he's talking about something topical like Charlie Kirk's assassination. By the way, Jeremy has been one of those guys going at Candace Owens for milking Charlie's death for views, despite making literally dozens of videos about...
Well, Candace is going kind of crazy. But yeah, okay.
Charlie in a row to milk his death for views too.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they're both milking it, but I feel like Candace's version of milking it is a little bit different, honestly.
That Jeremy's full of shit.
She's just like kind of lying about stuff. She's fucking crazy, honestly. She's fucking insane.
And just as much of a shameless grifter as
fuck
Candace
am I doing
is.
here?
Jeremy's
Dude,
metrics
so
are
cocked.
even worse on his secondary channel, Jeremy Hambly. This used to be a channel called
Quartercast,
and he can't even get 50K on a video reliably anymore.
I just don't understand why he has a second channel. It doesn't really make any sense. Like, what is the difference between the content? I don't understand it.
The last few months have been the worst performing months he's had on YouTube in years. And he can blame it on his channel getting shadow banned, censored, or strangled, as if his cookie cutter ass clickbait is worth that type of effort from Google. The truth is, after being blessed with...
I just feel like it seems to be like really low effort slop. He doesn't really have a particularly high opinion on anything. So... I don't know. Like, what do the people really go to him for? I mean, obviously, I'm amazing, right? I don't understand why people go to me. No, but like, what do people really go to Jeremy for? What's the pull? What's the reason? Why bother? What is he good at? Like, it just seems to be reading shit and saying the same dumbass fucking right-wing nonsense over and over again, no?
With a gravy train for the better part of a decade, YouTube's algorithm doesn't care for TheQuartering and his stank anymore. Censorship on YouTube has actually lessened recently under Neil Mahan.
That's true.
And Neil's even let some edgy boys from the past who've been banned for a while back on the platform.
Hey, freedom of speech is back, baby. We're back.
Now, this is terrible news for Jeremy because the lack of competition was one of his main strengths.
Oh, maybe that is true.
He can't hang in an era of YouTube where he's not getting that algorithmic stimulus package and has to compete with right-leaning content creators who make better content than his slop. The next few years...
I don't know about better, but more entertaining, probably.
Years of Jeremy's YouTube career aren't looking too bright. And
damn, rough stuff.
If all this financial stress was occurring in just one place, that'd be bad enough. But it's everywhere, all at once. His main channel, his secondary channel, his Rumble.
I still don't understand the point of the secondary channel. It's like the same slop. I don't understand the point of it. I don't understand the distinction. He just shitposts slops. Like, I get why some people would do like 2 different channels if they make the same content, if some of it is like more or less serious, I guess, but it makes no fucking sense.
And worst of all, his coffee company.
Damn. That's supposed to be his thing that he keeps going on.
Bro, Coffee Brand Coffee has gotten Jeremy all the way fucked up. Apparently, he's over $300,000 in debt.
Damn, this guy could have just kind of collected a bunch of money and retired. He could have just said, hey, you know what? I'm done with the content machine. I got a few $1 million and I'm just going to take a step back or something. You know, he could have done that. He could have just started like streaming for fun and not really gave a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is he doing? His project for really, it can be very independent. I don't see the reason why he even needs employees to do what? To do thumbnails? I don't, I guess that's what it is. So he could shitpost, but like, how much do you really need for what you're doing? I don't quite understand it, because I don't think that he does anything particularly like massively impressive, right? He just like, what's the, maybe I'm wrong. What does the typical TheQuartering video look like? Incredible. TheQuartering. What does this look like? Let's see. We'll click on the first video.
Well, the left has launched one of...
Okay, that's it. So he just starts talking about stuff on the screen, blah, 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 blah. Looks like Renee Good stuff or something. I have no idea. What do you need, like, employees for? The thumbnail? You could do this yourself in, like, 5 minutes. It's just text with a border, him on one side, them on the other side, an ice agent that's glowing. And then Renee Good, I guess, in there as well. I mean, these are... What the fuck is he doing? Okay.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from TheQuartering. I wasn't sure I was going to go public about this, but it appears I have to now. Many of you know that I've got a lot of irons in the fire. You've heard me say, hey, I've got my Mega Mixology cookbook to help fund the new studio. Obviously it's a meme, but you all know I have my coffee company. All of these things have stretched basically me to the absolute max.
So then why are you engaging in different enterprises without being able to deal with it?
It was fine. You probably saw I was selling my Neo Geo collection. I'm selling my Nintendo collection. I'm selling all this stuff to help fund this stuff.
What? Is this guy that much in the hole? Is he really pissing through all of his fucking money that he's making on doing his content? What the fuck? What an idiot.
We really are at an inflection point where a lot of companies would take on investors. You know, I've got $300,000 almost floating right now in debt.
Who the fuck would invest in your shit? What?
I'm just being dead serious.
And it's the worst type of debt. Debt that's tied to high interest loans and unsecured credit. And he just can't sell any of it. It doesn't matter how many flavors he has or how many holiday specials he makes. He's not moving any of this product.
Why doesn't he just give up the coffee company and just downscale? What seems to be the best idea. I truly wonder what his wife thinks about all this. Like, my wife would be so pissed. Like, this guy was making probably like $1 million a year, and now probably not as much, and he just pissed all the money away. Like, what the fuck? That's not very secure, bud.
No market footprint and no market penetration. Only thing getting penetrated is Jeremy's bussy, cause winter is coming, bills are due, and he's got tons of inventory that nobody, including his fans, want. And before we get off this subject, I need to spill some beans about a certain not-so-secret detail concerning Coffee Brand Coffee. That is the claim that Jeremy does everything in-house at his privately owned coffee company. And
yeah, I wouldn't believe that. There's no way. I would imagine that the way that the infrastructure would work is that he's probably just outsourcing to like a factory that does like makes generic ass coffee, right? Like, you have factories that do like cereal and stuff. It's usually the same factories of other places. Like let's say there's a factory might do Dunkin' Donuts coffee, but then they might also do a Stop and Shop brand or some kind of like supermarket brand coffee as well. And it's basically just packaged differently with little or no change. That's what I'm assuming that it is, right? Like, did anybody ever assume otherwise?
And doesn't just drop ship.
There's a big difference between what I do and what most everyone else does. I don't drop ship my coffee. We roast our own special blends. We hand flavor our beans. We pack our orders. We ship our orders. We handle our customer service. We are not a drop ship outlet. We're a real coffee company.
Yeah, that is also a lie. Jeremy doesn't do all the work in-house. Pick the beans, roast the blends, all that stuff. He didn't even really buy a coffee company at all. What he's actually been doing is repackaging coffee made by a company called Mill Creek Coffee Roasters and selling it as his own.
Yeah, that makes more sense. That makes a lot more sense. It's just the branding at that point.
Which you can do since
Okay.
Mill Creek Coffee Roasters is a private label that allows other white label companies, which Coffee Brand Coffee actually is, to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just some. That's what didn't the Pokemon do that with like cookies or something? Yeah, you're paying for the brand. It's just that like it's that's so weird. It's just so strange because like Quartering doesn't seem to care about his brand very much. He seems to just let it piss and shit all over itself constantly. Like, does he not realize that he's the main part of selling if you're gonna sell as a brand? What the fuck?
In a video Jeremy posted to prove that he does in fact have a roastery, people are able to compare these photos to ones that Mill Creek Coffee had available on their social media. And
why lie about that, dude? Holy fuck. What a loser. Holy shit.
they looked identical. People also noticed that Coffee Brand Coffee's LLC coincidentally happened to share the exact same address as the LLC of Player One Coffee, a coffee company coincidentally owned by Zach Shutt, who's also the CEO of Meta PCs, coincidentally.
Damn, looks like they're both doing white label shit. Damn, fucking Jesus.
One of Jeremy's main sponsors over the years. Also, coincidentally, of course, Zach's Coffee had also featured a roastery that looked an awful lot like Mill Creek's. Also, they somehow had the same address that was only a 20-minute drive from a facility owned by Mill Creek Coffee Roasters, who are the ones who are actually brewing this coffee.
Damn. The fucking grift continues, dude. Holy fuck. Who would have thought it would be a grift, dude? Holy fuck, Jeremy, stop.
Not Player One Coffee.
Jeremy, I can't believe you, bro.
And certainly not Coffee Brand Coffee. This whole time, Quartering's been bragging about how he's doing everything in-house instead of drop shipping. In reality, what he's doing is technically a step below drop shipping.
Wouldn't it be a lying and false advertisement? What the fuck?
Because not only is Coffee Brand Coffee a white label product, it's just a copy of another white label product, Player One Coffee. And this isn't some grand secret either. Companies who actually do roast their own beans know exactly what Jeremy is doing. So the Coffee Brand Coffee company that's...
Tisk, James. What an asshole. It's so strange, dude. I mean, I just don't get the lying part. Why not just be honest about it?
Basically a millstone around this motherfucker's neck at this point was built on a lie that Quartering has been peddling for over 3 years. Let this be a lesson.
Tisk, dude.
Being a grifter doesn't always pay. The Quartering is spiraling. His metrics keep dropping. His businesses have all failed or are actively failing. He's burning through money month after month, and Melanie Mack and Sydney Watson still won't give him a crumb. It's tough out here for Jeremy. Well, not really. Because as much as Jeremy likes to e-beg his fans to bail him out of the latest financial Kimura lock he's put himself in.
Mother's Day is next week, but more important than that, I'm hoping, praying, asking you guys to support the channel.
He still lives one of the most decadent lifestyles in America. And he doesn't even hide it. At least with the Millhouse Coffee Roaster shit, he tries to keep that on the down low. He'll just openly talk.
So I can just buy folders and put a different package. I don't think that you could do that. That would get you sued. But these companies explicitly exist to where you can put your own label on it. That's why they're called white label, like you're blank labeling, companies. So you can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want to do at that point.
About and post photos and videos of his collection of vintage arcade machines, his fleet of cars, including a fully modded Cybertruck.
He's got that Cybertruck up the butt, dude. Good for him, I guess. He's got that shit fucking stacked, boy.
His multiple $1,000 plus watches, his giant RC track on his acres of land, his giant ass house that he had personally built in his 7-foot-tall saltwater fish tank.
Yeah, I'm sure he personally built that.
This ain't me tanky posting about.
That's fucking crazy. I mean, listen, you do whatever you want with your money, but he's got all this shit. He's like, I'm gonna sell my Pokemon cards. I gotta sell my Pokemon cards to that. What does he say before? It's fucking Nintendo, whatever the fuck. I gotta sell my Pokemon cards to be successful. It's like, dude, this guy's living on a fucking, like a mega mansion over here. Why? I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't want to spend, if I had made that much money, I don't think I would want to have this huge thing. I don't think that I would want to do that. I would just keep it simple. Kiss, dude. Keep it simple, stupid, you know?
Jeremy living it up too big.
He's got a fucking PlayStation 2 car. That's fucking true as hell.
Can ball out as much as he wants with his money. This is me pointing out that a millionaire who lives like this has no business extending his hand and asking for a handout from his audience.
Or the government. You got that $32,000 business loan that you didn't need.
TheQuartering being an ape when it comes to running his various businesses and being a giant consumer when it comes to managing his finances is TheQuartering's problem, nobody else's. Moist Critical recently turned off all forms of his monetization because he already felt he made too big of a bag over the.
Well, I don't think he turned it off all forms. He turned off donations. He still gets ad revenue. That's a little different than what you're talking about.
Years to justify it, and felt guilty about his working class fans continuing to give him their hard-earned money. But Big Hambly over here, nah, he needs those donos, he needs those memberships, he needs that ad revenue, he needs a Rumble deal, he needs for you to buy his coffee, he needs for you to buy his MAGA mixology book, and he needs for you to pay for his hotel expenses. Holy shit, dude. Just get a cup, find a corner, and start begging pedestrians for change at this point, nigga.
Whoa!
God damn.
So, bottom line, you're a huge grifter.
Massive.
Yeah.
I've actually, so I have it drawn out. I have basically a 2-year plan that started last year. I'm pretty sure that like my channel will be irrelevant like by this time next year. There hasn't been a big push in the last year. And if there isn't another one next year to kind of refresh viewership, I've already kind of started planning my exit plan. So I'm maximum grift.
All right. Good for you, man. What an interesting thing to admit there. That's fucking crazy. I mean, I guess that makes sense why he's trying to push this coffee brand thing so heavily, because he just wants to like move on to a new industry. But I mean, I don't know. That just seems like a fucking idiot move to make for him to grift like that, especially since there seem to be people who actually cared about him. So fucking weird, dude. There seem to be like plenty of people who actually cared about him as a content creator, and he just kind of shits on him. It's pretty fucked up. But then I guess it's your fault for believing in some fucking dumbass bitch. So. Alright, well, interesting video. So this guy pooped his pants. Incredible stuff. And peed in the basement, I guess. God bless. 6'7", exactly, bro. He's exactly what I was thinking.